Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jacob Lazote. God, that is some truly just amazing metal music, all completely copyright free. Can you guys believe that? That man gets up every day to bring us copyright free music, and I appreciate it. So, guys, seriously, go check out Jacob Lazote. I sent the playlist I was listening to, but he has an entire repertoire of music that is completely copyright free, um, that he produces himself. So I think he deserves a shout out. But, anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Halloween. That's right, October 31st of 2025. And unfortunately for us, the Snark Wars continue. Unfortunately, the tanky scum cannot keep away from our dear Lord. That guy with the unsponsored stream, damn right. Unsponsored, brought to you by my fans. Sorry, it's still a little early for me. It's the same time I was streaming yesterday, but I woke up like probably 30 minutes ago, so I'm still a little bit groggy, still waking up, trying to get rid of the caffeine addiction I have, so I'm not going to be drinking any coffee right now. But that's okay because I am fueled by the content in which this woman is putting out. I am fueled by it. So, I mean, we might as well just dive into it. Actually, I do have some news articles I wanted to talk about. Um, just my general thoughts on a couple things. So, Trump recently said that the Senate should scrap the filibuster to end the government shutdown. Now, that's scary for a couple reasons, right? Like, obviously, I hate the filibuster. I think the Republicans have used it to let horrible legislation pass through and hold back other legislation. But their hesitancy to keep the filibuster was kind of something that gave me hope. It's like, well, if they still think they're going to need the filibuster because they think they're going to be in power, or they're not going to be in power someday. But now that Trump is telling them to scrap the filibuster, I mean, it's a little spooky, right? It's a little like, you know, why is he doing that? And why, well, obviously know why he's doing that, but it is not a good sign for if the Republican Party thinks they're going to stay in power or not. You know what I mean? Uh, you'd keep the filibuster if you had a chance of getting out of power, but since they don't, I don't know. It's a weird situation. I'm gonna wait for it to develop a little more before I talk about it because that is a extremely important topic that we need to cover, and it's kind of developing right now. Um, I do want to see if Mike Johnson and Hakeem Jeffries talk today to see their reaction because this puts Mike Johnson in a weird position, right? So, anyways, and then I did have, hey, what's up, it's bots? It's good to see you here. So I had this video that I just came across in my feed for some reason. It's a 430 view video, and it says vote no on Mamdani. And it's by a channel called Nicole Approves. Should we play it? I've done no nothing into what this woman believes. She could be coconut pilled for all we know. Hell yeah. All right. All right. Let me switch over into the gaming box. Happy Halloween, by the way, guys. I wanted to play the Monster Mash, but it's copyright, unfortunately. Which is so fucking annoying. I was thinking about doing the Kids Bop version, but I don't know, not really. I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? Kids Bop. You know, I actually kind of hate Kids Bop because it would always be the shittier version, right? Like, why the fuck did you buy Kids Bop, Mom? You could have buy. Oh, it's about the other way. Hey, man, it should be sorting itself any second now, as you can see. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, well, this is the woman Nicole approves, and she does not approve of Ma'am Donnie. So let's find out.
And post.
Anti-Semite! Anti-Semite! Anti-Semite!
Document and post. If you are walking down the street, you see corruption, document and post. If you are
Holy fuck, I didn't realize this was gonna be a schizo moment. Okay. Kids Bop is just creepy at this point with this some of the covers they've done. Oh, I haven't seen their covers. I don't know. I just didn't like them because they were always worse. And it's good to see you, Salvador. Salvatore. Good to see you. Good to see you. I got all my friends here in chat today. Let's go.
walking down the street and you see a scene like out of Gotham, document and post.
Denounce! Denounce it! Denounce Sharia law! Denounce Hezbollah! Denounce it! You can't denounce it! You can't denounce it!
Yeah, dude. He's just being harassed by some crazy dude. You know? Now, on the point of anti-Semitism, I do have some fucking things to, like, there is some crazy shit on Instagram, guys, that is just being profligated, and, like, Meta and, Facebook should be fucking ashamed of themselves, because the amount of anti-Semitism I saw on my feed after, you know, I hadn't logged in for probably, like, a couple months, and the amount of fucking anti-Semitism was I had to uninstall Instagram from my fucking phone. It was disgusting, dude. It was fucking disgusting, the amount of anti-Semitism I saw. I mean, we're talking just not even dog whistles saying, you know, I saw comments saying the mustache guy was right. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, actually, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you're calling for if you're saying the most evil human to ever live was right, then that should reflect more poorly on you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Anyways, I do agree that anti-Semitism is a problem. And it's horrible. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. But I really don't think Mamdani is anti-Semitic. Hey, she does indeed seem generally phobic. She does. She has the phobic attitude, dude. Damn, this guy's kind of the fucking Chad right here, by the way. Just standing up like, excuse me? I don't think Mamdani is anti-Semitic. Not at all. I think he was just young at that time when he made those comments, and he didn't quite understand what he was saying. Now, I do agree that Mamdani needs to prove that he's going to protect the Jewish community in New York. I think he needs to prove that. I don't know what that means, so maybe that just means bringing them up and making sure their plight isn't forgotten, or maybe that means sending, you know, increased patrols in neighborhoods that are known to have a higher rate of Jewish people in them, so they're more protected. I don't know what that means, but I do think he needs to kind of show that, yes, I'm here for all New Yorkers, you know? That's my sentiment. But ironic for MAGA to be calling people anti-Semitic. That's all I'm gonna say.
Back the off!
here doing this video in the spirit of the old Nicole way of doing things, like I did with the videos where, to give myself a little credit, which I don't like to do often, where I helped Trump get elected. If you remember, during the election...
Oh, she helped Trump get elected, ladies and gentlemen. It was her. Oh my God, the single force. The single force to get Trump elected. It's right here. It's Nicole. Well, I guess we know who to direct all our anger towards, folks. It was her. She did it. I don't know how she did it, and I don't know what she did to do it, but she got Trump elected. It wasn't the economy. It wasn't the economy. Hey, what's up, American Progressive? Good to see you. Hey, I saw you in IRI's chat the other day. Thanks for checking him out. I really appreciate that. God complex schizo Nicole. Yeah.
Trump versus Harris, you know, someone who actually was running and another that was installed like a toilet. The polls were consistently
installed like a toilet. I don't think you could say Harris was quote unquote installed. That's insane. Everybody knew if Biden wasn't going to run, it was going to be Kamala Harris. That was just a commonly known fact. That's how it usually goes. If the incumbent president can't run, then the vice president usually runs. Like, what is, anyways, installed.
Telling us from the liberal media.
The liberal media. Guys, that's me. That's me, guys. I'm the liberal media.
That Harris was way, way above Trump, and that we Republicans and conservatives had absolutely no chance at winning. And number one, that was a lie. And
yeah, subscribe to IRA on Twitch for like 2 years now. Can't believe how fast time goes. Yeah, I was, yeah, I'm very kind of impressed with how the media machine of the left is starting to finally get going, you know, with people like IRI who can explain policy in a much more interesting way than a lot of people can. And then you got people like Lonerbox, of course. You know, I think it's starting to grow. And then people like David Pakman and Brian Tyler Cohen. I think we're starting to see it, guys. I really do. And I'm so fucking excited. What we need to do now is we just need to start talking more. All parts of the liberal media apparatus need to start talking to each other. And that's, you know, from Hutch. Hutch needs to talk to Brian, and David Pakman needs to start chatting up IRI. You know, that's what I think. And I think we need to make an actual ecosystem right now. That's what I want.
number two, it was discouraging people from getting out there. And then we had some of the tragedies happen, like some of the floodings in different places, like North Carolina, I believe it was. And I was telling people in the comments that get back out there, okay? That you have a...
Get back out there, you pussies. I shouldn't say that. That is so fucked. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. But get back out there, you wimps. Oh, what's a little flood water gonna do? A little flood water never hurt anybody. Can you believe this? I'm glad I caught this. This is some genuine schizo posting.
A system in place that is trying to take everything from you. They're not even getting you aid. And somehow you're going to need to pull it together and you're going to need a vote. And I had comments like, oh my God, how can you tell people that may have lost all their belongings to go out?
He is good, but rather thin-skinned. He banned some random for asking, how high are you? I think he's built that up recently. I noticed in the... I did notice he kind of seemed a little, one-guyable, but recently he's been a lot more, I've noticed, you know, kind of, what's it called? He's been a lot more thick-skinned, I'd say. I think what happened was all of the MAGA debates he has to go through kind of built up his immune system. Didn't Donald deny additional aid to NC? I remember this. I think he did. Is that the... Yeah, I think he did, actually. Because obviously budget cuts and all that, but I'm trying... I remember a story about that. Sorry, guys, I am still just waking up. I'm still... I don't even think my medication has hit my brain yet, and you guys know how I am without my medication.
Donnie, yes, he could still win, or he may not. And once again, we do not know what the real polls are. He has not won yet. I'm going to try to get this video up today. We're still in October, the end of October when I'm making this, and there is a chance that you always have to have hope. You always have to have hope. He represents, the very least, Democratic Socialist Party and communistic ideals. And people are like, what's wrong with socialism? It's great. It hasn't worked in Venezuela, North Korea, or Cuba. When you try to, people say, well, what is the ideas of socialism and communism? Well, at its root is...
No, fucking Mamdani is like a social lib. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Maybe his past comments, you could definitely consider, like, you know, seizing the means and all that. Look at how he talks now. Okay, he's pragmatic. He works within the framework that he exists in. He's not gonna, how is he gonna turn New York into a socialist economy? Can you please explain that, Nicole? He doesn't have that ability. He doesn't have that power. All that electing a socialist typically means is more social oriented policies. That's it. It's not like they're gonna drastically change the economy. It's not like they're gonna arrest every landlord. You know what I mean? It seems like his mission is to try to do things that will help the average New Yorker. So you know, he must believe that more socialist policies are what they need right now. So
the squeeze and control of production.
And does she even live in New York? Like, I hate these people commenting like this. When I hear Zoran, I can hear the hope in the message. He is so genuine, and he has convinced me that he has changed. Yeah, me too. I hear hope. Like, and that's why I am not super fucking down on Mamdani, not especially, but even because of his past comments, because I see a man who's changed and genuinely wants to help New Yorkers. And that's beautiful. That's what that looks like Miami or Florida to me. Yeah, she lives in, I don't know where she lives, but it seems like Florida. But that's what I see in, oh, thanks for reminding me about chat. I swear, the chat is the one thing that can always, that will always fuck me up. Because I'm just not used to going there and checking it. But let me get that real quick for you guys, just so you guys aren't flying without any directions here. We can't have that. We can't have a flightless bird, if you will. No, chat, you're not the worst. No. Is there a way to set it to all messages? I'm not quite. So what I do with this,
as
schizo post in more ways than one, is I copy the URL to the chat in my pop-out chat, paste it into the browser, like one of the browser option in OBS, and then I just kind of cut around so you guys can only see the chat instead of like the type message here, stuff like that. So I know I plan on doing some more technical based things when I have some time off, but that's going to be this next Tuesday and Wednesday. So you guys are going to be getting some pretty early and more frequent streams on the weekends too. So that's exciting.
The people and the capitalist does not control the means of production, and the government controls the means of production. In other words, then there is no incentive for companies.
That was not a good
There's a
that was not a good explanation. So I'm more for a private, I'm a mixed system kind of guy. I look at the success of the, U.S. Postal Service, or not U.S. Postal Service. I look at the success of the mail office, and I see, oh, they have private incentives. They have private companies like UPS, and then they have a public option. I'm more for that type of economy. I've noticed like it it provides a base service while still driving innovation.
a, a squeeze that's been put
But by the way, it's not a capitalist, it's private people. That's who he would technically have an issue with. But
on the
anyways.
supply and demand chain. So what will happen is you will have rationing, and you will have it where there are a shortage of.
So this is just, he's not looking to drastically reshape the economy, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not what he's trying to do. He's just advocating for more social policies that would benefit more than just one person, especially with healthcare, private plus public option. Yeah, I think a public option is just like super obvious for healthcare right now. She looks like a right-wing Bad Bunny. That's silly. Is Bad Bunny the one where Mike punched a couch over? I always forget who that is.
Supplies, because again, there's no incentive for anyone to create. It also creates a lack of incentive.
Yeah, I don't know how she doesn't. How did she say it? I can't even like pronounce how she said it.
For anyone to create. It also creates a lack of incentive on the common person becoming smarter and better, because if you feel that the government.
That's not true at all. Well, dude, I'm not even gonna fall for this framework she's set up, where it's this world where Mamdani wants to drastically reshape the economy into something that it's not. Like,
government is giving you everything, why would you try to make yourself better? And what's going to end up happening is the government's going to give you nothing, because the government won't have anything to give you. Also, when the taxation of the companies and the people, number one, now they've unintentionally, a lot of people are going to.
oh my God, it's bots. That's a great point. She sounds like a Ben Shapiro full of helium. Do you guys hear it too? Here, maybe if we slow it down, maybe we can actually hear. This might be Ben Shapiro in drag. Let's hear it.
Lose their jobs. All those businesses left, so people lost their income and their jobs. And two, now you don't have the people to tax.
All right,
to create
speed
the
it
things
up,
that
lady.
he wants. He also wants to defund the police. He wants and the crime in New York is rampant.
Okay, now it sounds like Ben Shapiro, folks. Now it sounds like Ben Shapiro.
Okay, I remember when I was a teenager, like 14 years old, I had the opportunity to go to Parsons School of Design. I was there for 2
Ben Shapiro already sounds like Ben Shapiro on helium. You're not wrong. He is the ultimate. Actually?
weeks. It was amazing. And when I was a young girl, I actually said to myself, it would kind of be interesting to go to New York and be a fashion student and walk the streets there. It's like that world is gone. That doesn't exist anymore. And for anyone who has a taste of New York or went to New York before.
Are you on crack, ma'am? The fashion scene is still bussin' down in New York City. You know what I mean? Like, it's still strong. What are you talking about? Because Mamdani gets elected, is all of the major fashion companies, they're just gonna leave New York City. They're gonna single file out. Prada's gonna base in their US branch is now gonna base in fucking Tennessee. Like, yeah, I'm sure.
When the streets there were actually safe, it's heartbreaking. It now represents Gotham. Okay? And the streets there now are not.
Gotham! Ladies and gentlemen. She believes it's Gotham City. Wow. Well, anybody in New York, I hope you're doing okay. I know the recent attacks by the Iceman have been kind of tough, but I hope you're doing okay. Zoran just wants corporate taxes to be like New Jersey. The horror! I know, right? Oh God, isn't that horrible?
Safe at all. I don't even understand how the people there are so desensitized that they see what's going on there on a daily basis, and they go into subways and there's all these videos where like they're just like, I don't see anything.
You know how I know that crime isn't bad in New York? Because it's not a voting issue right now. Crime isn't a voting issue in New York. Isn't that fucking insane? Crime's not a voting issue. So that's how I know that crime isn't an issue right now. Nobody is trying to vote on based on crime. They're voting on based on how they can improve their life. And they don't see an increase in police officers as doing that. So that shows me that it's not like Gotham City. Gotham was created at a time New York City was filled with crime. That's the past they want to go back to. Yeah, I know. They like the idea of New York City being this giant crime den because it works with their narrative. It goes along with the narrative that all these blue cities are just crime havens, which is just so far from the fact. It's not even based in reality.
Like, oh, the person's doing a slip and slide, they're twerking. I guess I'm racist if I think this is weird. And that's what the woke liberal content has told us, that if you have a problem with the things you're seeing, it's you that's the problem. And we don't know what's going to happen. You have to get out there and you have to vote. You have to vote.
Who's this man
and
behind
you have to
her?
continue to...
Who's that? Is that a LIB CHAD psyop? He's coming.
Because in the worst case scenario...
Dude, it's a LIB CHAD psyop right behind her. Goltzer. He opened the door. That was all the part of the plan, ma'am. That was all part of the plan. You were so distracted by the door opening. She just admitted her idea of crime is people twerking. Well, that is crime, right? Like, that's crime. You know, people having fun, that's crime. Crime is at an all-time low in New York. It's the price of housing / rent that seems to be the main issue as far as I can tell. Yeah, I mean, crime in a whole has been down in America, and that makes sense. It does. It just makes sense because of where we were in the world stage and how we were doing. You know, we weren't doing too bad under Biden. We were just steadily growing, so it makes sense that crime went down. You know, there wasn't any major... Never mind, I'm not
scenario
gonna
that he wins.
finish that, but...
There's a term to his reign. Okay, I believe it's obviously 4 years for a mayor, and then he can rerun. And the people's jobs, even the indoctrinated, hopefully they wake up, is to document and post. Document and post. If you are walking down the street, you see corruption, document and post. If you are...
Dude, somebody needs to be on Trump's ass then with a fucking camera. These people baffle me because they'll be like, "Oh, I'm so anti-corruption. Oh, I hate corruption." But then they're voting for Donald Trump. Document and post. Document and post, folks. Document and post.
Walking down the street and you see a scene like out of Gotham, document and post. If you see a scene of, oh my God, look at the crime, look at this, look at that.
If you see Batman beating the fuck out of the Riddler, document and post. Document and post.
And look at the businesses. That's another one. If you notice streets of businesses that are going out of business, where everyone's putting up boards on their businesses, sorry, we are out of business. If you go into the Mamdani grocery store.
Look, the LIB psyop is right behind her,
And
ladies
as
and
I've seen a
gentlemen.
joke on TikTok, the one turnip. We sell the one turnip. You should see that video. It's really funny. Document and post. There is a power to social media. Document and post. Document and post. You see something, document and post. Make a vlog, make a short, post it on TikTok. Some of my audience on here that watches me specifically on YouTube, some of us have talked about in conversation that we don't love the idea of using TikTok. But you know what? TikTok unfortunately does have a very strong reach. It's something you have
Why
to
don't you like TikTok? Why don't you like TikTok, ma'am? It's owned by Oracle Entertainment. That's not a Chinese. That's your guys's, dudes. That's fucking Murdoch's group. Why don't you like TikTok?
Even if you don't like it, the algorithm on TikTok, that's why, in other words, if you're successful on YouTube, it's considered like wow. Because pretty much with TikTok, if you have something interesting to say, the algorithm on TikTok has a very far exposure. So if you want to show something and document and post on TikTok, you're going to get
I heard these Christian YouTubers like Job Talking about the importance of the truth, then they vote for Trump, right? Like Trump, a waterfall of lies comes out of his mouth every single day. But they're more concerned. It just shows that they play team sports and they're ashamed of it, you know? Dude, don't be ashamed if I play team sports in the sense that I think the Democrats are the only ones really interested in actually moving the country forward right now. I think the Republicans benefit far more from the system as is, and I think the Democrats are trying to change that and make it more fair. That's how far I do team sports, you know what I mean? But I'm not ashamed of that. And I'll tell anybody that. Like, I think the Democrats are far better of an option. But these people, they act like team sport, like they're never playing team sports.
A lot of reach with whatever it is you post. So, and then also TikTok works via there is a community, I believe, algorithm.
They're ashamed of their love for the Republican Party, which just shows me that the Republican Party is just as embarrassing as I think they are, and their voters know it.
Because I have noticed people seeing my content, especially on TikTok, from the community. In other words, I will have people notice me in Sunny Isles or Aventura because that's the way the TikTok algorithm is working. And you can do that in New York, and you have a duty to document and post, and don't let people tell you or make you think that you can't make a difference. If
Document and post.
you are, for some reason, you cannot leave New York, and he gets in, and you are posting 2-3 times a day on Shorts and on TikTok, that's going to add up. If you have thousands of people doing the same, documenting and posting everything they see that's odd, that's occurring in the city.
This document and post thing is funny as fuck. That's gonna be a meme now from now on, guys. Document and post. Document and post.
Because of him getting in, and you are documenting and posting, and you do it with the
Oh my god, that's so funny.
attitude of not letting people get into your head with your one small voice, and you just continuously do it, document and post. You do it every day.
Document and post. She, you know, in case her followers forgot exactly what they need to do, you need to document and post. Guys, if you see a Republican eating an ice cream cone in a funny way, document and post. If you see a Republican picking his nose, document and post. Document and post. Document and post.
For his tenure. The hope is that there will be such a collaboration of content of people that maybe even the blue-haired people will wake up and say, wow, that's a lot of negative videos.
Wow. Oh, you're really hoping for a lot there, ma'am. The blue-haired people. God, like, why do they talk about us like this? I feel like they are afraid of, like... I don't get it. I don't get it. They have to make, like, this huge caricature of a lib to even be able to fight us. I take on any Republican, you know. I'm not afraid of you know, anybody, caricature regardless. But these people, it's like they have to have this this blue-haired enemy. They hate individuals. That's true. That's a good way to put it, Bill. They just hate being an individual. Which is ironic because she's so against Mamdani. They are fighting with demons in their head. Well, maybe this woman is. This is a very schizo post-related post, but... Yeah.
As a result of Mamdani getting in. I didn't know that street was that bad. I didn't know all those businesses went out of business. So it is the people's job to bring...
Watch, everybody just starts posting how better life is. I haven't drank in the Mamdani Kool-Aid completely. Like, I don't think some of his policies, like rent control, I don't think will really work, but we can see where it goes. That's the other thing. The worst case outcome for a lot of his policies are just like not even bad. You know what I mean? Like what's the worst case outcome for free buses? Buses take longer. Okay? Well, I mean, sounds like the world's gonna fucking end overnight if that happens, so...
Attention to what they see. If you're gonna be the type that's sitting on the New York subway and you think what you're seeing is normal, and you just sit there. You cannot complain when the next 4 years get incredibly bad. And again, people ask this question back when Trump was running. In the event that he does not win and Harris wins, what are you conservatives going to do? The answer is we'll wake up the next day and we will do the best we can, and we will not only do the best we can, but the answer everyone said is we will get back up. The next day will come and we will keep posting. We will continue on.
She had a bad day yesterday. You can tell. She had a bad day. I don't know what happened, but she had a bad day.
We'll continue on speaking, and we hope that basically the next election goes better, and that people start to wake up. So my only
Ma'am,
regret...
have you noticed the liberal psyop right next to you? Have you noticed them? Document and post. Document and post. 1 week after him being sworn in, they will start posting pictures of closed stores and black homeless man and say he's ruined New York. I think this is her on a good day. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit, you're right. You might be right, Bill. Yeah, they'll probably do that, but I don't know. Accept election results, not very MAGA of her, right? Why don't you overturn the election?
And the Mamdani content is that I didn't start sooner
style.
because I think unfortunately I gave attention too much to other things, and I probably could have. I feel and I wonder if I could have made more of a difference. In this.
Ma'am, I don't think you got Donald Trump elected, and I don't. Maybe you made a difference, maybe you didn't. I don't think you did. I've never heard of you in my life. I like your sunglasses, though. They're kind of popping.
This situation by posting more and more content had I had the time. But if you are watching this in the New York area, or you know someone who is, share on the video, the message,
I love telling people in another fucking city how to vote. I love that, I have no idea what, I've never been to New York, but I love telling people to do stuff, I don't know. It just feels like, why does she even feel comfortable talking about this? But why does she even, because it's very obvious she hasn't done a lot of research into Mamdani. So why did she even, did this get brought up in the chorus equivalent for whatever the fuck MAGA has? Is this what got brought up?
Those Mamdani grocery store TikToks are looking mighty interesting, like I have a bad video game. Let's try to get Kumo elected and do our best. And I will see you again soon in my next video. And bye!
Fuck Kumo. Fuck Anthony Kumo. He is so fucking disgraced now. I still remember MTG attempting to go to NYC. Holy shit, it was funny. That is fucking interesting. I think we might have to watch that video. That sounds funny. But now that we're done with some of that cringe, we talked about that. Let's get to our main course. The woman who has a snark brain. She is unfortunately stricken with the mental disease known as snark brain. It is very damaging to many people, and there have been many casualties due to snark brain. And as this video shows, there will continue to be. Now, guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time and you're like, who the fuck is this? I did a stream yesterday going over the first hour of this. This is a video about Ethan Klein and about how I guess his fall occurred. I don't know. It's been a very messy video. She's brought up things that don't exactly need to be brought up. Just kind of to drag Ethan's name through the mud, which is always nice of her. What a sweetheart, right? She also accused Hila and Ethan of being pedos. Now, you may wonder why. Why did she say that? There must be some really good evidence. No, just because they named their company Teddy Fresh and they have a teddy bear as their logo. Are you fucking kidding me? You gotta get something better, ma'am. You gotta get something better to accuse somebody of being a pedo. But if that's all what we need, then How do we know? You know, BMO's right fucking here, guys. Adventure Time's a kids show. And having a bunch of plushies? Ethan Klein, history's greatest monster. Well, if you ask these people, that would be the truth. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, right? This is what her fucking room looks like. And she's accusing someone else of being a pedo. Like, ma'am, it's a little pot calling the kettle black here. As she sits in a child's room making videos. I mean, I know this aesthetic, right? It's not a first to me. I've seen this before. And it obviously kind of harkens back to like the childlike memories and stuff. Like I get this vibe, and I understand that she's obviously not a pedophile because she enjoys this stuff. But I could call her, based on her framing and her logic, I could call her a pedophile. Now, obviously, she's not a pedophile, guys. I think she is a mother, actually. So let's not, be a little too bombastic here. But still, guys, like, using her own rhetoric, using her own ideas, she's a fucking pedo. So I think that just goes to show how stupid it is. Ethan said she's a military wife too, and she likes Hassan. Oh wow, I actually didn't know she was a military wife, but I mean, maybe, yeah, that's interesting. And shit, oh my god, you guys aren't ready. We may not get through the full video today, but you guys are not fucking ready for the apology video she does. It's so embarrassing. Like, I personally would not be. I don't know. You guys will see. All right, so this gets into the Teddy Fresh cop. Or wait, this is frenemies. So this part, IDK pedos are pretty greasy. Well, that's true, and she has definitely oiled up her face with a large amount of bacon, but that is not here nor there. So this is an era of the podcast I actually missed a lot of, but all I'm gonna say is, doing research, Trisha getting 45% is fucking insane for a co-host. All I'm gonna say is fucking insane. That's like a sweetheart deal, dude. There, in any other, you would not be getting 45 fucking percent. But that's what Trisha was getting, and she made millions off of this. So
why frenemies or love-hate relationships are so bad for your health. In a May 2019 video titled Instagram versus Reality, Ethan discussed the growing epidemic that was tearing apart lives, families, worst of all, social media. That was the issue, that sometimes people looked differently in photos than they did in real life. This video gained 13 million views. People were...
Why would you describe it like that? How did she describe it? Hold on, in these existential
people
terms.
Looked differently in photos than they did in real life. This video gained 13 million. Issue that sometimes people looked differently in photos than they did in real life. This video...
Is that meant to be funny? Or is that meant to be, like, serious? I don't... Was this a huge issue, ladies and gentlemen? Was this a generational issue? I don't think it was, but maybe it was. I just thought that was kind of obvious with social media.
Video gained 13 million views. People were really concerned that women were deceiving people. These tricksters, these witches. And the
no, Bill. The best YouTube does censor the best jokes, let me tell you.
Ethan called out in the video was Trisha Paytas, who he called the spokesperson of Instagram versus Reality.
Come on, people, let's get a grip here. Yes! This girl is the spokesman of Instagram Reality. Why are you even a model if you're gonna modify your looks that much? It's like from beauty queen to WWF wrestler in 2 seconds. You cannot
That's mean, Ethan.
Photoshop your heart and soul. Remember that.
Trisha responded on Twitter, posting several tweets, including one calling Ethan disgusting and a bully. She posted a video titled H3 is harming young girls.
It just made me so sad and upset that, like, there's this 40-year-old man shaming, like, girls. And I'm gonna speak for myself because I was featured heavily in the video, shaming girls for really just how they look. he would take my one photo that I was glam for on Instagram and compare it to like a video like this or a vlog video where I have no makeup on. It wasn't the same day. It was completely different looks. And I was like, okay, your point is to try and prove this is not how this person looks in reality. But you're not taking like a photo from that day with my hair and makeup done with another video clip of my hair and makeup done that day. And it just was like, what's the point? You're trying to prove that I'm not attractive without, like, yeah, when I have hair and makeup done, I'm a lot more attractive. And I understand that. And that's why I get it done and I pay to get it done and I have a second channel.
You got called out, man. That's sorry to say. You got called out for editing your videos, or editing your photos, unfortunately. That's cringe. That's cringe as fuck. I hate to say, that's just some cringe shit right there.
Where I just show myself makeupless because it's taken me a long time to get comfortable at that point.
By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel, gets me out there in the algorithm, and lets me know you people are loving what I do. I've actually gotten a lot of support recently, so guys, you have no idea what that means to me. It means the world, so...
At its core, Trisha made some valid points. If women are photoshopping their photos, it could be because they're insecure. And
wow, congratulations. Like, okay, yeah, no fucking shit. That's why they're doing it. Oh my god. Do you think there's any other fucking reason they would be editing their photos, ma'am? Holy fucking shit. Wow. The level of fucking brain power on this woman is, you know, a secret service needs to employ her because no terrorist threats would ever happen with her on the watch. Jesus. Great. It only posted the part I thought it was censoring. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's just meant to fix their insecurities while also make more people insecure. I mean, this is such an obvious feedback loop. Who doesn't know this? I mean, okay, maybe, I don't know.
Making a video blasting that insecurity out to the public, to millions of viewers, probably not going to help them. Trisha also mentioned that...
Oh my god! Do you want me to bust out the world's smallest violin to play the world's saddest song? You're the one posting these to the public. You see, on Instagram, there's this option where you can either go private, public. You got that option, you know? The Instagram isn't holding a gun to your head and saying you have to post this fucking video or picture. What are we doing here, folks?
A variety of factors could influence how someone's looking depending on the day. I definitely did not wake up looking like this. Depending on whether I'm going through depression, in a better mental state, in a worse mental state, I probably look widely differently. And that doesn't necessarily mean that a woman is...
I see. The bacon grease is to try to ward off the Jews. You know what? You might be onto something, Bill. You might be onto something. That was a good joke. I see where you're going with it, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. That one was good. But for real, dude, like, so much gloss is not needed. She just looks plastic. This is a great screen grab, by the way.
Deceiving her audience, not to mention the pressure women often feel to adhere to the beauty standards.
It just made no sense. Some people face tune their bodies to make them feel better about themselves, okay? There's also very real sides to everybody that they show on social media. I show everything. I show everything. So to use that as an example is like disgusting.
Oh my god. Dude, Trisha really, she's rage bait, guys. She's just rage bait. So we gotta press on. This isn't a video about Trisha. It's about Cool World Dumb Mind, okay?
So unethical because it's so far off. You use two separate photos from different days to compare my ugliness to my pretty pictures. Like, it like honestly made me like physically sick, and I really love YouTube, and lately it's been so hard. Everyone deals with hate. That's part of the internet. But to have like
exact. That's a good point too, Bill. Calling him out was the point of the video. You know, the video was meant to call these people out, and I think when you edit your videos, or your pictures, you are setting a horrible beauty standard, and you're doing everything she claims that Ethan is doing. She's actually doing. She's setting this horrible beauty standard for women and all that. I wonder how the video creator feels about Christy Noam's depiction in South Park. I don't know. I wonder.
Influencer just trash like your looks, and a middle-aged male at that. Like, who are you to say that? Like, and then it just made me so sad because for anyone else watching, like, people literally, girls like take their lives over stuff like that. Like, they feel so ugly. They're made to feel so
Oh my
ugly.
god, this is so, like, this is gross. Saying, oh, what you said people kill themselves about. Fuck off, ma'am. Fuck right off. That's not at all. Like, are you gonna kill yourself? Were you feeling like that? Oh no? You just said some people do. Okay, fuck you. Stop using the bodies of our victims of depression to grandstand on. It's fine for normal people to do, but girl, you make millions of making other people feel worse. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a big difference. There's a huge difference.
His own responses seemed unaware of the whole beauty standard aspect of it all and preached
Like
that
if some private girl was maybe, I don't know, editing her waist a little bit to make her seem a little skinnier, and you know, she's not a public figure, just going to her private Instagram, and that's just to make her feel better about herself, then of course that's totally okay. That's totally fucking fine. But if you're, well, I still think that's a little strain. I think she should go to therapy, for one. But there's an obvious difference when you're editing your pictures and it's going out to a massive amount of young girls who are highly impressionable. There's a difference.
everyone should feel comfortable in their own skin.
We need to understand collectively, nobody's that happy. We are all miserable. They're just so much better at faking it. And you know what they're doing? They're making all this feel even worse. That's why today I am proud to present to you one of the best subreddits in the game, Instagram Reality, where they take a snippet from someone's Instagram or social media and show you the actual reality behind the post. Today,
I think it was in Nigeria where they had a law against editing pictures to sell skin bleaching creams. Nice. Nice.
that you will be feeling better, more confident. We need to embrace that and lift ourselves up in the knowledge that we are all ugly, pathetic.
Like, you know, I'm totally for, this is a great, I'm gonna screen grab this. I'm sorry, Ethan, this is just such a great photo. I don't know how I can't. But, I had a point about how, editing and stuff, but I'm just gonna let it roll.
Pathetic monsters that just want to eat McDonald's every day.
You should listen to Ethan. This is definitely a man who feels very comfortable in his own skin. Ethan addressed the situation for the final time on the H3 podcast.
Obviously, he feels more comfortable than you.
Know who she was, to be honest with you, but I guess she's actually quite a big YouTuber. She has like 5 million followers or something, and so we put her in the thumbnail because her comparison.
Yeah, I know. Normie should never have been allowed on the internet. I know. They do be shitting the place up.
Was just so epic to me. She says, please, Ethan Klein, do not raise your child to be as ignorant as your husband. I would divorce him ASAP as he's causing so much damage to young women. It's actually sickening. I've never been more disgusted. That you stand by him is even more disgusting.
Yet the feud between Ethan and Trisha would be reignited months later when Trisha came out with a video titled I Am Transgender. Spoiler alert, Trisha still identifies as female. Ethan commented on the backlash against Trisha during an episode of the H3
Wow,
podcast.
where's the outrage about that? Using transgender, the transgender issue to fucking get wealth and money. Where's your fucking anger about that, ma'am? Is that setting up for Ozempic execution? Excusations. Oh, maybe actually, potentially. But let me go back.
Spoiler alert, Trisha still identifies as female.
Yeah, where's your fucking outrage about that? Dude, I would be so fucking pissed. And I am pissed that that happened. Like, oh, you're just gonna use it cynically like that? Fuck you.
Ethan commented on the backlash against Trisha during an episode of the H3 podcast.
YouTube personality Trisha Paytas set off a series of disapproving social media reactions Monday after claiming to be trans, despite identifying 1000% with their birth gender. Checkmate.
I mean, that's a direct quote from her. That's not editorializing.
Still, checkmate. The video is about 15 minutes long, begins with Paytas warning that people might think I'm trying to be offensive or set back the movement. She appears to identify as transgender on a part-time basis.
In response, Trisha uploaded a video titled H3 is worse than Donald Trump. On Twitter, a user demands that Ethan have Trisha as a guest on the podcast, and Ethan responds if she's man enough. Trisha replies, $18 million and I'll do it. Ethan says, you'd definitely do it for free. A few days later, on October 18th, 2019, Ethan uploaded a video mocking Trisha's apology videos.
Hey guys, it's Ethan here again. I just wanted to come on really fast and apologize to everybody. I totally did not expect the backlash from our last video. I wanted to basically apologize to Trisha Paytas, who is such a sweet, genuine person, and I just really, like, I wanted to, first of all...
Dude, she is so boring that the clips she puts in that's like trying to damn Ethan are actually kind of funny, and you just end up liking those clips more.
Apologize for saying that she looked like she was at an open casket
Yeah, I don't remember this either, but it's kind of funny.
funeral, like she was the corpse inside of a casket. That's not true. That's not what I meant at all. You're so beautiful. You're such a queen. And I also wanted to apologize for saying that you have like a 5 to 10 inch engorged. It's bigger than my... I mean...
Bro.
I mean, that would basically make you a guy. That would basically mean you had a... And, well, I guess I'm kind of confused because you said you're trans, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you. I know that. I'm sorry for saying that you're not trans. God, man, even though you have, like, cup F jugs that are always on display, and not, that would make you... I don't know, but gender's all in the mind anyway. I shouldn't even go there, but mostly I just want to apologize to Trisha and say that I think she's really hot, and it definitely doesn't look like... She definitely doesn't look like, you know, she's been passed around as much as a bowling ball, and she's gone through as much as a bowling ball too. Like, she's just always hitting pins.
But Trisha surprised many when...
God damn it, Ethan. Why'd you have to say that last line? That one made me giggle a little bit. Always hitting pins. Okay. So what was the purpose? Oh, it was to show an apology, but... Alright, let's continue.
She appeared on the HD podcast on October 26, 2019. Despite our differences and a few rocky moments, it was really fun having you in the studio. Ethan tweeted to Trisha after the episode dropped.
Well, first of all, Trisha Paytas is here to... Are we here to squash the beef or roast the beef?
Ooh. I would love to squash it, but I like you guys talking about me. I actually genuinely hated you at the beginning of this year in May. Like, I genuinely, when you did that video...
From the Instagram reality one?
Yeah, like, genuinely disliked you and thought you were, like, disgusting.
I don't think I'm a troll.
I think you're a troll.
I think you're a troll.
No.
Are you a troll?
No.
Trisha and Ethan appeared to settle their differences. On the podcast, the pair had a genuine conversation regarding gender and social identity.
It's just the reality of it.
But you are a man.
You weren't born...
Right. Yeah, that I wasn't born with this is what they're saying. My point is, a lot of people are transphobic. Me coming out transgender is not going to help my dating life. It's not going to... Why would I put that on myself to her? I'm trying to date. I'm trying to get married. Why would I put that out there just so people can look up that I'm a transgender if I truly don't believe that?
Trisha returned to the HD podcast months later. The Kleins reintroduced a dating game
Excuse me?
help Trisha find love.
So we've got Trisha back here, and the reason that Trisha's joining us today is, as you all know, Ian's had an...
Yeah, I know. The pre-pandemic podcasts were something else.
...of The Bachelor. We thought Trisha Paytas. Now that's...
Did you know Ethan predicted the fucking COVID outbreak? I'm not even shitting you guys. Ethan straight up was like one of the very first people to mention COVID-19. It's fucking insane. That Ethan is how I found out about it. Straight up.
Next season of The Bachelorette. That has to be.
Although Trisha did not end up dating anyone from the video, she did have interest in Hila's brother, Moses.
Does your brother think I'm hot, though? He, like, was down?
Well, I don't talk to him about...
But he knew it was...
No, he wanted to apply.
He wanted to apply, though. He did tell us he was going to.
Like, in a serious way?
Yes.
Wow. Why haven't you just looked it up then? Why did we have to do all this? Why didn't you just be like, oh, like, Hila's brother wants to see you? I'd be like, yes.
He doesn't want to marry you, necessarily.
How do you know? Oh, because he's Jewish.
Well, I don't know.
Literally my type, and he looks so good.
Trisha later tweeted out photos of her and Moses social distancing together.
There's more. We will see these on her Instagram stories.
Oh, Moses. Moses is something else, dude. I know, I was there when he said COVID would be big. I know, dude! Holy shit, you were in the chat when they said that? Oh my god, I was blown the fuck away. I was blown the fuck away.
In bed with somebody.
When it actually became
and we see a
something.
hand, and I'm like, again, cryptic. I think it's his arm. Quarantine date night. This is a separate day. So whoever this is come back to her house, a date night. She calls it a date night, and whoever it is brought dinner, which by the way looks like quite a fancy dinner too.
I know my brother. And I immediately spotted his stickers on the table.
So he's hanging out with her now more, not telling us. I'm like, yo, what's going on with Trisha? Downplaying it.
Towards the end of March 2020, she posted a photo of the pair together on Twitter. At the end, I won The Bachelorette. Hila responded at the time saying, "Stop this right now," with a vomiting emoji. At first, the internet wasn't really sure if Trisha was trolling or not, but as time went on, she seemed pretty serious about Moses, and often expressed her frustration about Ethan and Hila meddling in their relationship.
Oh, hold on. Okay. I hope she mentions all the times Moses harasses Hila's mom about Ethan. I hope she mentions that. Moses and Trisha have, if you listen to how a lot of people around them talk, they have been actively just so horrible to Ethan and Hila. So I'm sure she's going to talk about about all of that. I'm sure.
I was sharing my narrative.
On September 15th, 2020, Trisha and Ethan joined forces and launched the Frenemies podcast, where they relied on their tumultuous chemistry to carry each episode. The set even aligned with each respective host's personality and the energy they exude. Ethan's side was dark, gloomy, pessimistic. Trisha's bright, pink, and vibrant.
Well, my friends.
Wow, thank you for fucking explaining the set. Who needed that? You can literally fucking see it on the screen. Are you assuming you're so fucking boring that people are just putting you on in the background? I mean, that's definitely what the fuck your videos are, but are you that not confident about yourself? Yep, I still have an article, say from 2019, about why you need to worry about COVID. Wild. It's funny, over the years, Ethan tries to forgive Trisha a lot, but it seems to remember why he doesn't like her. It's nice for her to make the video for the... Yeah, I know. Yeah, if I feel bad for Ethan and Hila, I really do. That would be really hard, so...
They said it would never happen. Me and Trisha making a podcast, and frankly, I thought they were.
Oh,
right.
that's true, Bill. It's nice she's making a video for the blind. You know what? That's nice. Let's keep her to that. The 2 Grand Tiffany lamp is a reflection of her real personality. It's Serenity House all the way down.
For a while.
Despite both of them being very honest that things could go wrong very quickly, they embraced the idea of doing business together.
Someday you'll be my sister-in-law.
No, I don't have to be my sister-in-law.
You're still my sister-in-law if you marry my brother-in-law.
I mean, I'll take it. Oh, our babies would be related.
Cousins.
Oh, cute, because they have the same genetics. Skinny.
I thought you couldn't have kids because you had double gonorrhea or something.
Yeah. I mean, I have a uterus still, so like I can still get like IVF or something.
That being said, things often went wrong on the Frenemies podcast, which probably made it a very stressful working environment, but very entertaining for viewers. In one episode, Trisha seemingly
Wow.
Ethan
Oh my god. A very stressful work environment? Holy shit. These people act like they are not living the dream. It's so... They act like these people aren't living the dream. Like, yes, I'm sure it's stressful, but stressful in what terms, dude? Stressful in what terms?
Mentioning his substance issues out of the blue to prove that he's not as open as he claimed. Ethan responded by accusing Trisha of weaponizing his issues against him. Trisha stands on the podcast.
Yeah, that is fucked up. That is fucked up, you fucking loser.
Last episode, creating a viral moment that received millions of views online.
You hide it more, just like Mikey, who hides.
Oh, really?
Gets brought to the surface
I don't hide
later
it.
on.
I don't hide it.
You do hide the
I'm all out there with no fucking eyebrows and everything.
You were into pills. You never talk about that you were a pill addict for a minute.
What?
Yeah, you said that. You said you were really into pills, and you don't talk about that.
What a fucking bitch. I mean, that is so fucked up. I'm sorry. That was... Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. That was rude, and I shouldn't have called... That was a moment of weakness. It was a moment of fucking vulnerability. I apologize, Trisha. I apologize for calling you that. Just take a moment. I find it incredibly fucking disgusting to fucking use somebody's mental illness against them. Okay? So I broke down a minute. That was a moment of weakness for me, guys. I apologize to Trisha. Apologize to any female audience viewers. That was just a moment of weakness. It's just something that is really gross that somebody would do that. You know? It's just gross. Ethan talked about his Zoloft addiction before this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and it's not even something we should even, like, who cares, you know? That's a personal thing, and if he wants to bring it to the public to talk about, that's great, but, you know, if he wants to keep it private and deal with it himself, then I think you should give him that. But obviously Trisha fucking disagrees. Again, guys, I know I shouldn't have used the B word. I apologize, but that is just so disgusting.
that.
Why do I need to talk about that? This is why you are such a dangerous person, especially to be close with. You'll take something that somebody told you in confidence and you'll use it, you'll weaponize it against them.
That's not true.
That's what you just did.
You call me crazy, knowing my history.
Bro,
you
we
call me
always
crazy.
call you crazy. You're like upfront
but
crazy.
if you're gonna call me crazy, then I'm gonna say,
Yeah,
hey,
but
why
then
don't you own up to what you've done? That's
that
also
doesn't make
crazy.
me crazy. I'm joking around, and then you go, okay, so what do I have to weaponize against Ethan? Oh, you told me to take pills in Israel.
You want me to weaponize you? Because I have things I can actually weaponize you with.
Ultimately, when you
Holy fuck. Sorry.
look at the way that Trisha was used on the H3 podcast, it seems like she was often used as a way to stoke her flames for
Fuck off. What are you talking about? Dude, she literally... Okay.
views and engagement. This is something that Ethan has done in the past to other content creators that he's seen as easily provoked for engagement. Ethan Klein used to associate with the creator JonTron, who was exposed for some incredibly
Oh
horrible,
my god, she goes after the JonTron shit? Oh my god. What's your complaint about JonTron? He wasn't mean? He wasn't... what the fuck?
blatantly bad takes that had him virtually canceled. Yet after the fact, Ethan invited him onto the H3 podcast to have a discussion.
So after 8.5 months, now you give JonTron a platform to defend himself?
Oh, it's the Goki! Oh my god, he's got the Goki segment. She's got the Goki segment, guys. Holy fuck.
Keep track. 9 months or something.
Ethan continued to say things that seemed intentional to sort of garner a reaction within JonTron.
I don't really want to get into this. It's a minefield of sorts. I'm not going to go back and nitpick everything I said and say and qualify it or anything. The main question.
Whoa, it's almost like what is this complaint? Oh, he did his job and dug into what the issue was? What is this fucking complaint?
No.
Do you feel like you said some things that you regret?
Yeah, I don't like reliving it.
Did you have a lot of self-aware moments during that?
Of course, the whole time.
Jimmy Lee was a former dentist turned comedian. He gained widespread attention around...
Oh my god! She goes after Jimmy! What is she even gonna say about Jimmy fucking Lee? Oh my god. The final episode... If you guys don't know, this Jimmy Lee individual didn't break in, fucking showed up unannounced to the podcast studio, and they fucking grilled him for an hour, and then he left. Because he was so embarrassing. Apparently this is deceptively edited. Well, I mean, I'm sure it is. She has not shown
early
herself to be very good
when Ethan
faith.
Klein reacted to one of his videos.
This guy's on fire.
Hey, I'm one up dentist.
What? The thing that's up is that he's a real dentist.
Yeah.
So when he's saying, hey, I'm one up dentist, hey,
Yeah.
little shop of horror, he's actually a real dentist. I don't want to go to your little shop of horror. You know what I mean? No, man.
Then Jimmy appeared in an H3 podcast in 2017, where Ethan started the episode by making condescending remarks about Lee.
He opens the podcast by basically bashing him and discrediting
Oh my... This is so funny, knowing what we know now about Jimmy. It's just like... Did this woman do any research at all, besides just going on the Snark Reddit?
him as a comedian.
His comedy style is essentially roasting people he's never met before.
Then after talking about him, he welcomes him onto the podcast.
Jimmy Lee, welcome, the legend.
The guest actually reveals himself to be kind of, a decent guy.
Is it possible? Are you gonna be there the whole time?
Are you filming?
Are you filming?
We have 3 cameras in here, Jimmy.
I mean, I don't mind the...
Get out, dude.
Yet another more recent episode is a frequent segment the H3 podcast would have with a disabled creator named Gabe, who Ethan would often use for content through baiting Gabe to
Oh
say-
my god, fuck off. What are you talking about, dude? Gabe likes doing that shit. He loves fucking engaging with the H3 crew. And Gabe knows for a damn fact that the H3 crew loves him. What are you fucking talking about? You realize Gabe coming on the H3 podcast helps him get money, right? He uses Cameo. Do you think, what podcast is Gabe gonna go on? I mean, I'm sure he could. He's a fucking talented individual. But why the fuck are you sitting here and saying, shame on Ethan? Fuck you. Gabe loves it. He's the salt of the earth. Yeah, I love fucking Gabe, dude. We treat Gabe, and so does the family, like he's a king, like he deserves to be treated. Yeah, Hassan treated Gabe like shit, too. So, if you have a problem with how fucking Ethan treated Gabe, why aren't you making a video about how Hassan shocks his dog? I don't know.
Outlandish things for essentially a good clip or good content. Like in this clip where Ethan asked Gabe about his experience in doing a sexual act.
You ever gone down on a girl, Gabe? Have you ever? You haven't. Is that something you're looking to try?
Yeah, someday.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. What is your birthday coming up?
Like practicing.
How do you practice? You ever practice on like the corner of your elbow? Right here?
Just being a gentleman.
Come on, this is funny.
You're gonna
What?
make it. You're gonna make a girl really happy.
I practice in front of the mirror.
Oh my God, can you do it right now? Pretend you're in front of the mirror. Oh, you're ready to go, Gabe. You're gonna make a girl very happy.
Poor Gabe, not realizing he's being used. Right after this, Ethan says, "Looking forward to your birthday next Friday," which of course.
Oh my God, a deleted fucking Reddit comment with 73 updates. Wow, guys. Wow, this was really a common sentiment.
And when Gabe is on the show all the time for frequent segments to be laughed at. I'm so glad. Gabe
Oh,
has
to
actually-
be laughed at. This is so fucking bullshit. We don't laugh at Gabe. Are you fucking joking? Get out of here, ma'am. You have no idea what you're fucking talking about. Yeah, this is the sloppiest slop that ever fucking slopped. I mean, this is just garbage tier, folks.
Friends, and by the looks of it, a fulfilling life with lots of positivity. Nowadays, at times, Ethan will claim that his mental health is being used by others, that he's being baited into reacting, or others will claim that in defense of Ethan. But Ethan is one of the content creators that set that sort of system up. Again, rules for thee, but not for me. If you can't give
Oh
Ethan
my
something-
God, dude, the sticks and stones will break my bones. Wood will never hurt me. My skin is rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me, sticks to you. Like, can we stop with the childhood catchphrases and be a little more adult here?
Either an entertaining clip or enough views from your own platform, he doesn't care what you have to say. William Osmond is an engineer who created a beanie that could talk, an invention his audience suggested he make for Ethan specifically in 2018.
Today's project is an animatronic beanie for the Phobic King himself, Ethan of H3H3.
During that summer, Ethan invited William onto the H3 podcast when William's subscriber base was almost at 700K. But Ethan didn't seem to view William as a valuable person to have on the show. The interview was limited to 20 minutes, instead of being the main focus of the show. Once his
Oh my God, are you fucking joking? Okay, who cares? What do you want Ethan to get on his knees and fucking take William? Like, what are you asking here, ma'am?
20 minutes were done, William was ignored and awkwardly instructed to leave.
They basically just talk about how his house burned down for a good 15 minutes of his 20 minutes. Immediately after this, they transition swiftly into the talking beanie.
Well, I'm happy that you made it out.
Me too.
I mean, you really saved the most important thing. Really.
I agree.
You went and you got the beanie in. Let me try this thing on. Let's see. Let's
We got sound effects.
turn it up, Dan. God bless. I think I did the bit.
Nice. That was good.
Thank you, everyone. Round of applause for the beanie guy.
So far they've talked about his house burning down, and he's presented them the beanie. So what's next?
All right, that was great. I had a lot. So thank you very much. I'll say, William.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So that's it. They just want him to come on, talk about his tragedy, and then give him the beanie and get out.
Well, once again, thank you so much.
Well, what the fuck else do you want them to do? This was
William?
also during the beginning years of the podcast. William Osmond is also very cool with them, and is she going to act like the second episode didn't happen? I didn't know a second episode happened, but if a second episode happened, then and it was more squarely focused, then yeah, that's fucking ridiculous.
And
What is
really
she
appreciate you coming out here all the way
Yeah.
from Ventura.
These examples show that ultimately, Ethan isn't this.
Oh my God, you're right, Bill. Oh my God. She doesn't. I didn't know about that. Let's look it up. William Osmond. H3. 5 years ago. Oh my God. Guys. They're giant. She's a giant fucking liar. Holy shit, she's a giant fucking liar. Oh my goodness. Wow. Him and his wife came on in 2020. Did the podcast. But apparently, because Ethan didn't spend what is that? 1/5 of his entire podcast focused on him for his first episode, or the first episode with him. I guess this just damns Ethan for the rest. What the fuck? This woman is a slob. A sloppy
vigilante he was made out to be. Instead, he's an expert
snarker.
at content creation and always putting himself at the forefront, sacrificing the needs of others if it doesn't benefit his platform or create good content. The thing is, though Trisha was seen as easily provoked, which made for good content, like other examples which had worked out in the past, she was also unpredictable, using the system the H3 podcast had set up against them.
Should we make up or are we hating?
I'm literally over it. I'm so over it. I
Really?
don't care if
I'm
Moses
not.
breaks up with me over this. Bye.
Why would Moses break up over a podcast?
Because I don't like his family, and I don't like hanging out with you guys, and you guys are awful, and that's it. I mean, yeah,
What the fuck? That is so fucked up. What a big personality. What a big personality she has. I mean, listen to what this woman is saying to Ethan right now. I don't like you. I don't like your family. You suck. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry though. That is something I need to work on, guys. So work with me. It's a struggle sesh.
I was trying to be nice and fun, but I actually don't really care that much for you.
Really? You never liked me?
No.
I feel that you're really upset now.
Okay.
Especially since Trisha had been dating Moses, she had a view into Ethan's personal life and ammunition she could use against him. When
No,
Ethan
yeah, don't worry. I'm working on it. Well, I'm working on it. I promise. That is something that I admit is an issue that I have, so I'm working on it. So don't worry. That's something I personally am ashamed that comes out of my mouth, and something that I am working on fixing. It's just, how can you live? That is so mean. That is so cruel. I mean, it's just, I could never imagine someone saying that to me. I mean, I don't know. When I look at these situations, I kind of look at how I would personally, like if I was in the situation and someone was saying that to me, how can you say that, dude? How can you, just to anybody? That is so mean, and it probably, I could see that would break my heart, dude.
The heat at her, tries to embarrass her or make her look crazy to garner a reaction, she's able to fire back at him in a way that other guests weren't able to easily do. But oftentimes, when Trisha would storm off in a podcast episode, the internet attributed this to her diagnosed BPD, or borderline personality disorder. Either behind the scenes or on camera with the assistance of Dr. Drew, the two would make up and they would resume making the Frenemies episodes. Then another situation would occur. During another episode, when Trisha said that they should have Hila on as a podcast guest, Ethan said, seemingly out of the blue, that she's not allowed to mention Hila anymore, which seemingly would be uncomfortable and upsetting, considering Trisha was dating Hila's brother at the time.
What triggered you again? What were we talking about?
Hila being too good for me to talk about on this podcast. Don't even mention her. She's a queen. Don't even mention me on the podcast.
Right, that's why.
I'm a literal podcaster.
We had a full meltdown while you were gone.
Expect another text from your sister. We were talked about. They never once insulted me at the beginning of the spring. She has a podcast. I brought life to the H3 channel, but Hila's too good to even mention her name. I said nothing bad. I said we should have her as a guest or whatever.
She was lashing out after being lied to a lot of.
I don't even mention Hila. I just want to talk about.
I know. I apologize again. I'm very ashamed of myself that I let that happen.
Yeah, I think so too. She's not.
And you are too. And you're.
After the podcast episode, Trisha made a few follow-up videos. Her main point was that Ethan intentionally does things to push her over the edge.
I put up with Ethan purposely triggering me, trying to trigger me on multiple occasions. He likes having that thumbnail of me leaving, right? That's the meme. Even up until the last one, I said, I don't want to walk off. I don't want to end the show because the meme was you sitting alone and I walked off. You see Trisha leaving, whatever. And even up until the last one, they didn't cut. After we ended the show, they cut 7 after when I walked off. I always put up with the triggers and I allowed myself to be triggered. And this is beyond, this is not walking on eggshells. It's I say one wrong thing. No, this is times where I'm like, don't share the private messages from episode 1, where he shared messages I sent to him, where he shared Moses' private messages, and we asked him on the show not to. There's just not respecting boundaries. I don't know boundaries well, and I try to set them as best as I can, but that was a boundary, and it's constantly saying no, I'm pushing.
Again, Dr. Drew was brought onto the podcast to repair the relationship.
So here's where the problem comes in. Trisha comes on the show, and she frequently repeats stuff that Moses tells her. So let me just finish my point, then you can respond. So for example, Trisha will say, and you did say in that episode, Moses doesn't even like you guys anyway. You guys wouldn't be invited to our wedding, or you guys aren't close with Moses. She always says stuff like that I feel like is driving a wedge between Moses and his family.
Okay, so Trisha,
and by the way, and then there's more. There's more because
I don't need more. I don't.
There is more. This is important.
Break it down for this part.
No,
and
but
have him reply
this is
to what
important.
you said.
There's one more piece that I think is important.
All right, go ahead.
When I ask Moses, when Hila asks Moses about it, Moses says, "I didn't say that."
That's actually not important. So
okay, it's not important.
Relax.
The format of frenemies seemed to work best when the two co-hosts shared a common enemy. They would both be friends when they were sharing an enemy, but when their conversations diverted into personal topics, the host quickly derailed into personal attacks. On June 8th of 2021, the podcast aired its 39th episode. Immediately, the energy in the podcast episode seemed off and went further off the rails from there. Ethan seemed disinterested in the topics that Trisha wanted to discuss, distracted by the pizza in front of him. Trisha called a bit centered around answering audience questions as stupid and lazy. Ethan responded, "A lazy podcast? You don't do anything for it. You just show."
Yeah, that she called one of the somebody who was just joining on. She called her idea stupid and lazy. I think that's a great idea, asking questions from the comments. They didn't use it or mention it, that final breakup.
Show up. We do all the work. And the two got into an argument over frenemies, creative direction, and finances.
Like the fact that you just talk about what you talked about the week prior.
Sometimes I forget what I've talked about, honestly.
But you're saying you have all this crew that does all this work for you, and nobody could remember that you talked about that 2 days prior?
I agree. Somebody should have said something. But I feel like you're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's
Yes,
so
you
funny.
are.
I'm not. I'm angry when you say something.
You need to admit when you're angry.
I don't get input on like people we hire, like all this stuff like that. I don't get.
People
I
we
don't,
hire. Why would I ask you about people I hire?
because it's frenemies and you take the budget for paying the crew. That's what you told me. You take.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. She's got an issue with people he hires. Like, if you have an issue, use your own freaking money from it.
I like to take 5% to pay the crew. I just want everything to be a lot more transparent because I'm like,
Everything-
Take that 5%.
cost.
Can't be more
You
transparent.
can you
with
show me all the cost of production
It's
that you?
not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show.
Trish receives a 45% cut of the show, while Ethan Klein receives an extra 5% that goes towards production costs. Now,
5% can mean a whole world of difference, guys. And he takes that 5%.
first off, if the show is incredibly successful, incredibly successful, and all you're doing is paying your employees a base salary, putting up a fabric backdrop, a basic...
Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. A fabric, that's all they do, guys. They just put up a fabric backdrop. Besides how stupid that is, for one, this woman doesn't realize that there's so much more that goes into it. You have to, there's the camera work, there's the sound design, there's so much more that goes into it besides just, oh, just a fabric backdrop. That is so disrespectful.
table and mics, you know?
And what the frick is she doing? Do you think this background took a lot? Oh my goodness. A 5% difference is astronomical, as Joe Rogan once said. Here, hold on. Let's get some fucking sound bites going. Let's go to h3lore.com. By the way, shout out to... Oh, Jesus, jump scare. Holy shit. I'm kind of stuck in here right now, guys. One moment. Alright, there we go. Let's see, what's that 5%? 5%. There we go.
5% difference is astronomical.
A 5% different.
5% means everything.
He takes that 5%.
And he just takes it. He just takes that 5%.
You know, that 5% can get pretty chunky if you're...
God, I wish I had a
5% means everything.
Because 5% means fucking everything.
Podcast is getting tens of millions of views. Incredible success. That 5% can really numerically change
And you know?
quite a bit. Do your employees get a raise because of that 5% production cost? Are you investing a ton into production costs? Or are you taking whatever isn't allocated?
Like, this is, by the way, such a... like, what a rude picture to use. If this isn't...
to employees, to the set, for yourself. While to the public, 5% can feel silly to argue about, like a very small number, especially if Ethan's argument was that 5% was for production and the staff, which makes Trisha appear like she didn't care about H3 employees. I could also see
By
why
the way,
Trisha may
what
start
the
to feel
fuck is this music in the background? Are you guys hearing it too? It'll occasionally come through, but it's just like, toot! It's like the, you guys know the Thomas the Tank Engine sound or song? It's kind of like the do 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 no 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 no.
I feel like she was getting undercut when it came to frenemies. Literally half the name, image, thumbnails, everything having to do with frenemies had Trisha's face on it, her image, her brand, and the whole podcast gave the H3 podcast a huge boost in viewership. Likely not only to the frenemies.
Yeah, she didn't care about the H3 podcast crew at all. And yeah, that's a great point, Bill. She was borderline racist to AB.
Cast videos, but across the H3 podcast channel, from new viewers who found out about the channel through the Frenemies podcast and became fans.
And by the way, it's people like this, like, if you guys have been watching the show recently, people have noticed that Olivia, who's an amazing creator in her own right, hasn't been on the show. It's because of people like this, dude. It's because people like this are constantly, telling her that she's just this horrible person for being on the show. Like, these types of people are the reason that Olivia isn't on the show. It's obvious, mental health wise, this isn't good. So
decided to subscribe. I mean, think of the long-term upside, the amount gained beyond just the revenue made on the videos itself. When it comes to viewership across all videos, subscribers, audience members, and a fan base that Trisha never reaped the benefits from, because all of this was not done on Trisha's YouTube channel. Again, this used Trisha's name, her image, even her mental health issues in a podcast for viewership, then cut 45% to her. And I could see why Trisha started to see a huge boost across
oh
the
my
HD.
God, that is such a sweetheart deal. If this was Hollywood, you'd be lucky to get 25%. Are you joking? God, she treated Sam so bad after she said she was a fan of Trisha. I can only imagine what she would have done to Olivia. Yeah, I know. And Olivia is such a queen and such a gamer that, she obviously isn't gonna air out dirty laundry. So I feel bad for Olivia. I think she's a fucking sick ass person, and I really hope to see her on the podcast again because she is fucking dope. And she's funny as fuck too.
Podcast channel, and she may have begun to feel like that was a bit unfair. The same day as a big blowout podcast episode, Trisha uploaded a video announcing that she was leaving Frenemies. In the video, she expressed how she experienced a lot of anxiety while filming the most recent episode of the podcast.
I had this feeling in my heart that I need to step away from Frenemies, and it's really, really with a heavy heart that I say that. And then last night, of course, I talked to Ethan, and he was saying the crew is really upset with me. The money is not the issue. I thought like I would have more of a say.
Ultimately, she wanted to be more involved in the production side of things.
I had a producer in mind that I think would be really, really great for the show. The thing that set me off, I was talking about like gay rights and like hate crimes against gay people and trans people, and I really wanted to talk about it, and he was just talking over me. And he's like, well, you don't do anything, but I put out so many ideas for the show, and I like listed like aerial gymnastics, like dancing with the stars, like clay pottery, the thing, and I like it just got really frustrating. I did get frustrated.
Well, maybe Trisha, look, you gotta live within the bounds that you live in. Okay? Yeah, I'm sure Dancing with the Stars would be absolutely great. But you're sitting here slobbing up 45% of the budget, so we can't do that.
Hindsight, after all that's transpired, one must wonder if Trisha was simply asking to have more involvement in the podcast. She didn't want to just show up and have all the work done for her. But Ethan didn't like giving up control, not just to her, but to anyone. So Trisha wanted more involvement and was shut down. She was painted as a selfish person.
Maybe it's not that. Maybe it's actually the fact that she
the employees and wanted all of the money for herself. Ethan tweeted that because the podcast was ending, the production crew was now getting hate. The crew has done nothing but support them and work their asses off every week, and the treatment they get is unacceptable.
Ethan tweeted, okay, I'm starting to get upset about all of this. Our crew is getting hate from Trisha's fans on their personal accounts, and I'm losing my cool. This is the exact problem I knew was going to happen. He's going to deflect on his crew that were all fans of Ethan before being hired and their girlfriends/wives. Like, of course they'll always be in his favor. And I made it look like same old Trish.
Though afterwards, Ethan deleted all of his initial tweets and tweeted, at the end of the day, Frenemies was a beautiful experiment that I will always cherish. On June 9th, Ethan uploaded an episode of the H3 podcast where he shared his side of the story. Ethan claimed that Trisha asked for an entirely new
clay
crew.
pottery is not an idea, by the way. Yeah, guys, let's make some clay pottery. Like, that's wow. Thank you, Trisha.
For production of Frenemies. He claimed that Trisha wanted the existing crew to be fired, which he ended up telling the crew this information.
To be like, we need to get rid of
all wow, he was open and honest. Let's see how she fucking turns this into an evil thing that made Ethan's demon horns crest out of his Teddy Fresh hat.
And hire new people. The people who have worked their asses off to make the show possible. This is where maybe I fucked up, okay? Is that I was talking to the crew like, listen, Trisha wants to hire a new crew. I was just being transparent with them. I was like, Trisha wants to hire a new crew. Trisha wants to fire you guys and hire new people to do Frenemies. And also, do you want to go meet with her and shoot tomorrow? And so obviously they were like, well, it's a little awkward, right? I made the executive decision as their boss, trying to foster a healthy work environment, that let's just not do the shoot tomorrow.
I don't know. If Trisha was a business partner who wanted more involvement to create a hostile work environment through telling your employees that your business partner wants all of them fired, which I have a really hard time.
Are you fucking joking? Trisha was the one making a hostile work environment. Ethan was obviously trying to de-escalate. No HR. No, this woman has never been to an HR office. This woman has never been employed, it feels like. Come on.
Personally believing is the case, but for Ethan to essentially paint himself as the savior to his employees, to tell them that his business partner wants to fire them all, but he's not going to let that happen. Well, it kind of feels like you're villainizing someone before fully handling the situation privately, involving other people.
Oh my God. Ma'am, just stop. Just stop. You're telling me you were a chatty Cathy? You were never you never loose lips, you never sunk a ship with some loose lips? Come on.
AKA triangulating people in the situation to make that business partner feel like the enemy, and now telling the general public this story as well to further paint that person as the enemy. Ethan also spoke about the financial aspect of the feud, saying Trisha gets all the security of getting that check, of promoting her shiz. He added that he's screwed because of all of the money that he had tied up in the Frenemies merch, which was set to be released that month.
For Trisha to just like walk out. I mean, we have this merch release. Every penny
Okay,
I've made from
hold
Frenemies, by the way,
on.
if she wants to talk
Hold
about
on. I personally have a hard time believing Ethan put all the money he made off the podcast into merch drop from a clothing company his wife owns. What about investing into his employees' production? Shut up. This woman has never owned a
about
business.
money is tied up in this merch. And now I have hundreds of thousands of dollars tied up in merch that I'm probably not going to be able to fucking sell, that my wife worked super hard on, her staff worked super hard on in 1 month's time. And she drops the I'm quitting Frenemies video after me doing everything possible to resolve this with her privately. I had the nerve of her to complain about 5% when I'm literally not making a penny at this point.
Trisha responded with 3 separate videos. Part 1, Ethan's lies. Part 2, Ethan's lies. And can you guess the third video's title? Part 3, Ethan's lies. Totaling around 2 hours and 34 minutes altogether. Trisha maintained in both videos and subsequent tweets that she never asked for the crew to be fired.
If you're the boss and I'm the talent and you're the producer, like, and you care about the well-being, right? It's not a reality show where like people are poking for the drama.
So she lied. She just lied. Okay.
You really don't want the drama. You don't want to hate on your employees. Like, why put it out there? I really didn't think I had at that point disrespected anybody. Like, it really triggered me when he said the crew felt disrespected, because I was just like, oh my God, like, what? Like, what did I say?
Trisha said that she only wanted an extra producer who could work exclusively on Frenemies.
I had a producer of mine actually reached out to him, same Oscar, for me feeling like comfortable. Like, it'd be cool to have someone for Frenemies because obviously the H3 people are busy. I've been asking for this just to have someone on the show where the money was going. And so I
No, that dude, she is such a liar. What are you talking about?
really thought it was like building towards having like people for our show too. So many people are tweeting me like, oh, Trisha wanted to replace the whole, like they have a whole H3 side that's
Yeah, I know. The delivery, by the way, by Cool World Dumb Mind was very, very poor. I do better delivery on live segments. This woman had an entire unknown amount of time to edit that, and she thought that one was the one that was cooking.
huge on there. Like, why would I be like replace them? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
To me, this sounds like a reasonable request to have someone who could be an advocate for Trisha on the Frenemies podcast. Ethan did end up selling the Frenemies merch, and it's been alleged that Trisha received a 50% cut. While Ethan ended his video saying that he didn't want to see Trisha canceled and that he regards her as family, she ended her video saying that she always felt like the show's punching bag. She added that she has a lot of anger in her heart towards Ethan, but praised the existing
Then don't
HD
do the
podcast crew
show.
and
Like,
Ela. Many
okay.
people felt after Frenemies ended that Ethan was in the right in the situation. Trisha was now a full-blown enemy, even though she went from dating to marrying Ela's brother, building a family, becoming in a literal sense a part of Ethan.
Oh my God. Well, it's almost like that part, it's almost like Moses and Trisha don't want to be part of Ethan's life and make it actively harder for them. That may be
Ela's
the
family.
reason.
They don't associate with one
see
another
it.
any longer. Since Trisha is seen as an enemy of Ethan's, over the years since the podcast ended, Ethan has frequently mentioned Trisha, sometimes to the support of his audience, but sometimes with his audience noting that he has a tendency to bring up Trisha in a bitter manner.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna get it out. Trisha
Almost-
lied about being.
Oh my God. Look at this fucking snark post. Ethan Klein, the misogynist, posted for discussion and transformative purposes only. What the fuck? Let's see how misogynist he becomes.
Being infertile, and that's a disgusting thing to do. She had 3 kids back to back without a single hesitation. Back to back. She got pregnant immediately. Now that's great and good for them, but she continually lied about being infertile, which is a horrible thing to do because real people go through that every day and they don't get to have 3 kids back to back exactly planned just like you want.
I'm a little old school, so I'm just going to say.
Well, she did lie about being infertile, right? Like, did she not? Didn't she say she had infertility issues and then she goes to have 3 children? I don't know. I don't think this is... What's wrong with this so far?
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah, that's what I said too.
But at least initially...
What's wrong with that clip? Hold on. What's wrong with that clip? He was expressing how it was difficult for him to see somebody have children when he was having struggles having his own children. What is wrong with that? You are so gross. Wow. You should just, dude, quit the internet after this. Just get off. Fucking wavy web surf is already doing your thing way better. You know, just get off the internet, dude. Get off. Cool World Dumb Mind has never been a more apt title for this woman.
Thought that Ethan was in the right, though of course there's always nuance to any situation. The audience couldn't quite see the pattern yet of how often Ethan's friends turned into his enemies, and he would frequently pray for their downfall. Well, it was easy for Ethan and the general public to deflect blame onto Trisha and call her crazy.
Okay, listen to that. She has no fucking evidence for that. Listen to how she just fucking lied.
The audience couldn't quite see the pattern yet of how often Ethan's friends turned into his enemies, and he would frequently pray for their downfall. Well, it was easy.
How do you know that? He would frequently pray for their downfall. Listen to that. That's a fucking lie. You don't know that. You're not showing any evidence that he's praying for his that they're praying for their downfall. You have no fucking evidence. You're just saying that. You're doing vibes-based fucking analogy, ma'am.
For Ethan and the general public to deflect blame onto Trisha and call her crazy for the downfall, for the fallout of frenemies. Well, at this point, it's clear that Ethan is the one to blame for the ways that his friendships and business relationships will often completely blow up in his face.
No, what are you talking about? Triller? Oh my god, she's going to Triller now. Trisha perpetuate misogynism a lot, like she said on Frenemies that women date rich guys to baby trap them. Yeah.
Around the time that Frenemies was ending, Ethan found himself embroiled in his biggest lawsuit. In May 2021, the company Triller sued Ethan and LIB Klein, alleging the pair had pirated the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren fight and showed it on the H3 podcast. Imagining having a major lawsuit and it's over the lamest boxing match featuring Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Ethan spoke about this lawsuit on the podcast.
Was that supposed to be funny? Did you imagine your fans would laugh at that? Oh my goodness, that was not funny.
And made what you might call several mean-spirited comments directed at Triller co-founder Ryan Kavanaugh.
Oh God, no mean-spirited comments. Uh-oh. Well, it's fine now. Ethan and fucking, they're homies now. It's kind of funny, actually. Yeah, they settled.
Actually, yeah, let me take this opportunity. Ryan Kavanaugh. Ryan Kavanaugh. Ryan Kavanaugh.
This prompted Ryan Kavanaugh to file a separate defamation lawsuit, accusing Ethan of spreading false claims through various social media platforms.
Actually, I am being sued by an asshole for defamation named Ryan Kavanaugh.
The accusations included promoting various damaging articles.
Variety wrote an article that said Ryan Kavanaugh was accused of his ex-partner of running a Ponzi scheme. So that's what he's suing me for defamation because I read the headline of a Variety article. It's insane.
Creating a website comparing Kavanaugh to Harvey
Now,
Weinstein.
I don't think that did he lose this part? I know they settled, but I don't think they was the defamation part of that. I think they threw that out.
Ryan Kavanaugh, you'll probably find on the
Does Ryan Kavanaugh look like HarveyWeinstein.com? What the fuck?
You know that's my website, right?
That's so stupid.
We made that website to help the public.
And allegedly paying Wikipedia editors to tarnish Kavanaugh's reputation.
I won this lawsuit against the guy who propagated it and who's paying to have all these, editors kind of do this. I'm sure I'll win in the appeal, and then he'll have to take it all down. We went to a mediation, and he agreed to even do it, which is why I know I already knew he controlled it, but he admitted it.
Of course, as I've briefly experienced, and probably will experience more after posting this video, Ethan Klein's fans are very devoted to tearing down his enemies, as that is Ethan's entire platform that he has built. He creates this idea
defending
that
ultra-Zionist Ryan Cav? Yes, she is. She's defending Ryan.
Is being victimized or targeted by specific enemies and weaponizes his audience against them. Whether his audience is conscious of this or not,
dude, the Failure podcast was so funny. That era, I know Cav is a friend of the show now, technically, but
to go after Ethan's enemies. I can't even imagine how
it was so good. Failure was so funny.
That has mentally affected Ethan's fan base over a long period of time. Ethan often spoke about the Triller lawsuit as if they were going to easily win.
I've been sued once for copyright infringement before. Won it. It's one of the
one of the strongest precedents for fair use. The only one really for fair use on YouTube was a big deal. And so I'm very passionate about fair use and copyright infringement and that kind of stuff like that, as someone that, you know, is regularly commenting on stuff. So when Ryan Kavanaugh stepped to me and he sued us for copyright infringement, I said, oh, hell fucking no.
Many fans and viewers expected the lawsuit to...
Could you imagine if I just thought of something kind of funny. Like, let's say I did a video like this for her, right? And I just went into every little detail. Oh, she was arrested for marijuana in 2007. And a lot of people say, you know, like, could you imagine doing that? I couldn't.
To go as others have gone in the past, especially when it came to copyright claims. Yet this time things turned out differently.
I offered him a lot of money to settle it, and he said no. So, he said no. He said no to me on my birthday.
The lawsuit dragged on for years until both parties reached a settlement in August of 2020.
Holy fuck! They both reached a settlement. That is so fucking funny. Yeah, I knew that, by the way. They reached a settlement. They agreed. This is a nothing burger that she's bringing up.
Though the specific terms were not disclosed to the public.
He didn't win. We settled. There's a big difference. You should know that. The lawsuit is finally over.
Wow. Congrats.
I'm agreed.
Yeah, he had to close a front to open up a new one. That's just unfortunately what he had to do. And the Ryan Kavanaugh saga had run its course. And I mean, it seems like they came to amicable terms, honestly. So, by the way, H3 fucking snark. Wow.
To start scrubbing out the Ryan Kavanaugh segments. So say farewell to Ryan Kavanaugh from the H3 show.
Though Ethan claimed on the H3 podcast that they settled for a total of around $3,000, and that after 3 years, that somehow was a massive win for him.
We have settled. Hold on. Whoa, I'm not. So you want to know what we settled for? This is going to make you guys laugh.
Yeah, it seems like they had... No, I don't know anything about the court proceedings, right? But this is common. Like, it seems like they kind of just came to an agreement that this wasn't worth their time, you know? Like, what is this complaint? What is this?
However many views it had on that video.
Which is kind of an L for Ryan, by the way. He's the one that sued them, and all you got was a settlement? I don't know.
Times 50, which is the PPV price. Okay. And it ended up being like $3,000.
That being said, some of the other suits were tossed out by a judge, meaning, well, could have been worse. The only thing that can be assumed is...
Yeah. Oh my god. She just doesn't have self-awareness. She just doesn't understand the reality she's in, I guess.
At the end of the day, all parties lost, since it's written into the agreement that both parties have to pay their own attorney fees. 3 years, multiple lawsuits, constant attorney charges racking up. I can't imagine what those fees would be. Ethan lost a lot.
Well, actually, ma'am, it seems like you probably will here soon. Can we agree that Ethan probably has a case for defamation on this video? Like, actually, can we all just, like, kind of agree that this is definitely worth you could pursue this video in court for defamation. So she may very well understand what Ethan had to go through, the struggles of the Zionist.
Than $3,000 on that federal copyright lawsuit. So undefeated, LOL.
H3 snark.
Great move. Keep it up. Proud of you.
Oh, now we get to go. Oh, we get to go to the spicy one, ladies and gentlemen. Ethan probably has a lawyer on retainer. It probably wasn't that much extra. Yeah, I mean, Ethan's talked about his lawyer. His lawyer seems like a really cool guy. Who's very passionate about the same things Ethan's passionate about. Have we already? Okay.
Since the H3 podcast discussed various trending topics, Ethan and his team regularly dipped their toes into politics. Ethan even invited political figures like Andrew Yang onto the podcast to experiment with having more serious guests on.
Today, our guest is Andrew Yang, who is running as the Democratic presidential candidate. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah.
After Frenemies ended, Ethan incorporated more talking points revolving around politics, including in engaging in a debate with conservative political commentator Steven Crowder.
I don't want to make it too easy for you, so I prepared. Steven, do you know that the Spartans practice man love with children?
Oh, geez. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. Oh, no, Sam Cedar. What a fucking nightmare.
I know, that was so funny when that happened. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is the part where Hassan fucking lied about his views to get on a podcast and radicalized a large portion of his audience. Yay!
Leftovers with Hasanabi, one of the most watched political streamers in the world. Although Hassan began
One
streaming
of the dumbest political streamers in the world.
in 2018,
Bro didn't know what the Western Wall was.
Hassan saw a surge in popularity during 2020.
Bro, what the f? How do you steal someone's, like, what?
By 2021, Hassan was one of the most watched streamers on Twitch, averaging tens of thousands of viewers daily. Hassan and Ethan's audiences seemed receptive to one another, enjoying their chemistry while diving into serious topics.
Welcome, everybody, to the Leftovers. The wait is over. That's right. Coming to the H3 family and our $3 million set. We spared no expense.
Dude, and
just on
Hassan
purpose.
is so uncharismatic. Like, God. This is Day Chowder's life started the spiral.
Thank you for having me.
While working with Hassan, Ethan continued debating various controversial figures. But because he just entered the debate space, Ethan seemed to choose easy opponents, like Just Pearly Things, a political commentator and self-described anti-feminist.
I think women.
No, okay. What are we doing? Ethan used to get like 54K viewers. Leftover was their least popular show. Yeah. Well, also, this is kind of, Just Pearly Things was a big force for a while, and then this debate happened, and she quickly got embarrassed and stopped being a big thing. What are you talking about? Easy.
Women are happier when we have
All MAGA is easy to debate. Okay, guys? All of MAGA and all of these Republican and conservative ideals are easy to debate. You're not gonna find what intellectual mastermind do you want Ethan to go against? Truly, what intellectual mastermind is out there? Cool World, dumb mind. God, so fitting.
have, a family and kids over a career in the long run. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
It's okay. Yeah.
And Ollie London, a British man who underwent several cosmetic surgeries to resemble a South Korean boy band member.
No, look, I just don't think kids should be anywhere that is putting ideas into their heads. I still don't think kids should be exposed to gender ideology.
So, but what about this lunchbox you're selling to kids?
That has nothing to do with any kind of ideology. It's a K-pop picture.
Hassan regularly watched Ethan's debates on
He doesn't
livestream,
choose who
actively supporting his friend
conservatives
at the
make
time.
popular. Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's not his fault these fucking morons are usually who rise to the surface in these spaces. That's not his fault.
While occasionally texting him talking points.
Ethan got to bust out the number of people who are left-handed.
The amount of left-handed people back in the day was really low.
I sent it back.
Ethan's confidence skyrocketed, but his ignorance sometimes occasionally shined
Wow,
through.
he sent them one thing, and I guess that just means all of his debate was grafted by somebody else. This is so fucking... Yeah.
While debating more complex topics.
In a social democracy that's run ideally, the homeless and whoever else needs a home for whatever reason would be provided one. So I don't understand what socialism does better in that case.
Ethan and Hassan worked closely together, despite having some different stances on major issues. A huge point of conflict, for example, was the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Ethan is an Israeli American.
You hear what she said? Zionist detected, Zionist detected, Zionist detected. Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear it? Here, I'll go back. I'll play it for you again.
Better in that case.
Ethan and Hassan worked closely together, despite having some different stances on major issues. A huge point of conflict, for example, was the conflict between Israel and Palestine.
Whoa! Whoa! The what? What did you call it? I didn't hear the G word come out of your mouth, ma'am. Where is it? I'm looking for it, but all I see is a conflict.
Ethan is an Israeli American. Often in Ethan's early content, he seemed very
I'm
conflicted
being
about the conflict. Ethan
facetious,
spoke
by
about
the
family
way.
and friends residing in Israel.
Uh-oh. Here it is again. The conflict.
And say free Palestine after they just lost everybody, they have children taken away from them. That's not what you should be saying right now.
And I'm free Palestine too, right? It's just the timing.
Hassan is a Turkish American and a strong voice of support for those often not given a voice in the Middle East.
Hamas.
Yeah, Hassan is an Ottoman fucking imperialist. I'm just gonna say it. Hassan loves the idea of him being the Ottoman fucking expertise man.
A Muslim Brotherhood fundamentalist cutout. It also happens to be the only popular form of governance amongst Palestinians. Do you want to know why that is the case? They want to support Palestinian people, but they think the only support Palestinian people can get is if they are perfect victims.
While over the past few years, Hassan has been frequently very vocal about Palestine, recently, when a black person expressed frustration over Hassan's silence over what is taking place in Sudan, Hassan seemed to kind of completely go off in a stream. Hassan's response seemed unreasonably angry, himself directing his anger at black people in general.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, she just made a big sin. She just made a huge sin. And this is also a very good fucking point. Why doesn't Hassan talk about Sudan and what's going on in the fucking Congo? And this is a larger point I have of these people just, the Israel-Palestine conflict is just a way to be anti-Semitic. Like, it's like, it's not just that, but a lot of people use it for that. It's just a way to be anti-Semitic because what's happening in Sudan is 1,000 times worse than what's happening in Gaza. And I'll fucking stand on that, dude. In Gaza, you don't have fucking fields of blood. You don't have that in fucking Gaza. You know what you have in Sudan? Look at what happened in El Fasher. You can see the blood of people running from space. And yet you're going to bitch to me about what's happening in Gaza. Like, I don't mean to sound like what's happening in Gaza isn't horrible and doesn't break my heart and it needs to stop. But let's not fucking act like you defend every group that's being oppressed. You only defend one group that you have a vested interest in.
And overall, his response raised a lot of concerns, red flags, and disappointment that it's worth mentioning.
By the way, guys, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, lets me gets my message out there. We are actually growing pretty rapidly, so here soon I'll be having all sorts of fun things. We will have a community day next month, so get excited for that. And yeah, just remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Anyways, let's continue.
Can you shut the fuck up when it comes to black folks? You really don't want to talk about us unless it comes from voting. When is the last time you spoke about Sudan? I'm gonna fucking ether you. Any other black folk want to engage in radical activist language in this fucking chat? Suck my fuck, okay?
The most deaths in a war since World War II. Yeah. Well, not just that. Not just that. Do you know how many people have been displaced? Roughly, I'll give you the low estimate. Roughly 12 fucking million. 12 million people displaced out of their home, gone. They can't be there anymore because there's war and fighting. And you don't hear anything about it from these people. You don't hear one fucking thing about it from these people. Oh yeah, we broke 90 subs, by the way. Thank you guys. I really appreciate that. It means the world to me. You guys are what makes me get up every morning and come on here and talk about politics. I know it's a little different today, but, and I'm glad you guys are still tuned into politics. I know it's a off year for elections, so a lot of people aren't really tuned in, but you guys are, and that's super fucking cool.
You stupid fucking radlib. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my chat. Fucking stupid, moronic, fucking radlib nonsense. Suck my...
Is that what I am? Am I a radlib? Is that what I am? I'd say I'm a pretty rad lib. I can't lie.
Fucking dick. Fuck you. You think you have a pass in here to fucking speak like this? Get the fuck out of here. You immediately got root.com article regurgitators in here instantly being like, sweetie, you don't understand black people. Shut the fuck up.
So,
yeah, this
what
is obviously
Sudan?
racist.
Sudan is in the midst of a civil war, which has resulted in a humanitarian crisis. There has been a displacement of over 13 million people, ethnic cleansing, famine, and violence. The healthcare system has collapsed. So yeah, I think it's absolutely something worth talking about and spreading awareness of, because this is a devastating issue for millions of people in the world. Information gathered via International Rescue Committee. These controversies that Hassan has encountered...
Wow, thanks for the fucking quick little, hey, shout out to Sudan. Fuck you. You know what? Fuck you. I don't think that's not genuine at all. That's not genuine at all. You don't care that there's people dying. It's just like they obviously don't care.
Show that in the end, birds of a feather flock together, or something that I've been reflecting on lately. Too much exposure to social media when you have a large platform.
Birds of a feather flock together. Dude, how old are you? Did you just come out of the nursery rhymes? The nursing home with these nursery rhymes? Holy shit.
with too many voices online, a following of quote-unquote yes men or yes people may degrade your mental health over time. While the two of them shared a podcast, there was no way of knowing that the situation would escalate across the world into what it is today. Well, at least for those who weren't extensively educated on the conflict, settlements, and the ways in which Israel was systematically encroaching on Palestinian land. Again, I highly recommend the Throughline podcast that I spoke of earlier in this video.
Yeah, I know. You're not smart enough to form your own opinion. I understand. Yeah, I like to tell people, you know, I do the same thing. I tell people to go watch Loner Box if you want my opinion. But if you want my opinion, you know, I'll fucking give it right now. I'll be controversial. I think both parties need their own state. And then someday, hopefully, Israel, Palestine, maybe even Jordan can all come together in one great Abrahamic country. I don't know. That's what my hope is. I think what Israel is doing is fucking disgusting. Yeah, did ChatGPT write this? Right? I think what Israel does with the settlements obviously needs broad condemnation and sanctioning. Like, what do you want? What do these people want?
23, Hamas and allied Palestinian militant groups launched an attack against Israel. Thousands of rockets were fired from Gaza into Israeli towns and military sites.
These 5,000 projectiles fired by Hamas marked the launch of a terrorist attack. Alarm sirens sounded in Israel. The Iron Dome, Israel's defense system, was put in place. The Nova Music Festival was the scene of the largest...
She's given way too much credit to Israel. She's not being nearly anti-Semitic enough for Hassan's crowd.
With over 360 festival goers killed and 44 taken hostage.
This is undoubtedly where this video could probably become extensively divided and controversial, as many people have widely different algorithms online, or even know different people who are directly affected by this conflict, which makes everything very personal and causes them to view everything from a personal but deeply...
YouTube censoring you talking about Ukraine? What's going on with that?
Divided lens. It's a huge reason why I always felt very hesitant to speak in depth about the situation. For personal reference, my brother passed away on October 3rd of 2023. So when all of this took place, I was in mourning over a very personal situation and wasn't fully there mentally. Anyways, my understanding is that Jewish individuals have dealt with anti-Semitism their whole life. They're aware of the Holocaust and many other instances where groups of people have tried to completely wipe them off the map entirely. They've wanted to defend themselves, come together with some sort of way to protect themselves so that doesn't happen again. Now, when something happens that feels like a situation that threatens their people, well, it's traumatizing for that very reason.
From the river to the sea literally is all of Israel must be ours.
People who don't know what it means all of the Jewish people will probably die.
I think in many ways I can empathize with that history.
Worst war since World War II. Yeah, the Ukraine war is also one of the most heartbreaking. I mean, you look at
and hurt, though I don't think that it justifies inflicting a similar pain and hurt onto another group of people. Many Jewish individuals have long advocated for a two-state solution.
If your analysis and your solutions doesn't include realistically engaging with that population, then you're not actually looking for solutions, because the alternative is that kill everybody there.
I don't want to discount the fact that Hamas is a terrorist organization in this video either. Ethan initially addressed the situation with Ela during an episode of the H3 podcast. The Kleins shared their concerns for their loved ones back in Israel before expressing frustration.
See, she's doing the thing. She's doing the thing where she barely talks about Hamas, but it's all Israel.
Frustration with people spamming Free Palestine on social media.
Now, I'm Free Palestine. You can say Free Palestine. But the timing to me made me uncomfortable. It seemed like they were cheering on Hamas.
But why were people saying Free Palestine? While there are many sites online that will tell you that the phrase Free Palestine is a rallying cry for the elimination of Israel, to many using that hashtag on social media, they're intending to speak about the predominant...
No, he was saying he had a problem with the time in which they were saying it. How are you so brain dead?
A number of Palestinian civilians, children, women, families who are dying due to the conflict taking...
It's the one thing that actually directly affects us. The war in Ukraine? Fuck yeah, it is. I think we should arm Ukraine to the fucking teeth. We should give them fucking all the tomahawks. We should give them javelin. We should fucking... They need to be having our top secret mech suits out there, you know? I think we're really wasting we're wasting time, because obviously Russia is a belligerent. They're not gonna fucking listen to the West, so you gotta bloody their nose.
place and the ways in which a land has been taken through practices such as settlements and illegal raids. They're intending to advocate and be a voice for people who they feel have been given little power and no voice for themselves. Ethan rubbed people the wrong way on a follow-up episode of the H3 podcast when he called out a Muslim woman named Frogan who had close ties to Hassan and supported Palestine.
This girl Frogan.
Well, yeah, Frogan was fucking celebrating October 7th.
Me and Lena are friends with her.
I didn't like the tweet she was making. I thought they were like leaning too much towards pro-Hamas, but like she got to turn it into this whole big thing that turns into a drama that's now being posted all over the internet. That face when one of your favorite content creators unfollows you for being pro-Palestine.
Ethan victimized himself for a woman tweeting when thousands were dying, and the podcast went ironic.
Oh my god. Thousands are dying. Well, what the fuck is he supposed to do about that? All he can do is see what's in his periphery and respond to that. What do you want? What do you want Ethan to do? Do you want him to... I genuinely have no idea what she wants him to do. What was he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just... This is a point that is so frustrating.
Further off the rails. During a follow-up episode on The Leftovers, the camaraderie between Ethan and Hassan took a bitter turn while discussing the subject. The Kleins defended Israel, failing to see how the ways in which Israel was set up could have continually threatened the peace of others in the area. Ethan and Hila mentioned how Israelis felt threatened their whole lives living in Israel, but refused to see how others in neighboring countries may have felt the exact same way from Israel as well.
So many people in Israel
Oh my
just feel
god.
like it's an existential threat.
My
It's
goodness.
just everybody wants us dead. That's how we grow up. I grew up like that.
And it's not about right and wrong. I have to say that. I have to emphasize that. It's got nothing to do with that.
Ethan somehow framed support for Palestine as death to Israelis and could not fathom a world in which
No, he didn't. This could very well be this is defamation. He did not say that, and he never insinuated that.
Palestine while simultaneously not wishing harm on Israel.
Palestine will be free. And
so like at worst, the worst interpretation of that would be like someone like Hamas or Hezbollah or like terrorist organizations who are like, yeah, we want to actually kill everybody there. At the best interpretation of it, it basically means, as I've said, this one state dissolution of the state of Israel. The vast majority of people in Israel see that as a genocide.
After this live stream, the Leftovers podcast and the relationship between Ethan and Hassan quickly deteriorated. Though honestly, to many, it seemed confusing why the Leftovers podcast started in the first place. Ethan wasn't very versed in politics, and often when diving into the specifics of the political discourse in diaspora, his knowledge fell completely flat.
You have no idea what you're talking about, man. So you should not be judging anybody. You made a fucking apology video, you know, at the feet of Hassan and bad empanada. God,
it's fine maybe if you're just a podcaster who hasn't made a platform off of discussing these things, but when you create an entire podcast off of it and base your platform off of being left-leaning, your viewers begin to expect you to know what you're talking about and to align with what you're putting out there completely. Knowing what we know about Ethan's past, this podcast doesn't align.
Actually, Ethan fucking smashed Hassan's teeth into the curb when it came to history in the Middle East. It's actually kind of impressive, his knowledge of the Middle East and his knowledge about the exodus of the Jewish people. That's actually very impressive. Not a lot of people knew about the bombings. Not a lot of people knew about that. So it's very impressive, his knowledge of the Middle Eastern exodus of the Jewish people. That he knows a lot. He's very well versed in that. He had to be for the debate. So I don't know what you're talking
everything
about.
Ethan once stood for, and he didn't have expertise in it. While Ethan and many on the left often critique those on the right for being political grifters, creating content that they don't fully believe in to simply profit off of what the left essentially believe to be a global audience, well, it seems from all the evidence presented that Ethan was doing the exact same thing.
Oh my god. This is defamation. Ethan is not a fucking grifter. He believes in what he's saying.
Conflicting and hypocritical comments, whether on his political views, views on women, the world, which may mean Ethan stands for nothing, except for what can stand for Ethan. Rules for thee, but not for me. The problem is
my god. Rule for thee, not for me.
Continued speaking on politics, even though more and more his audience hated what he was saying.
Just don't talk about politics. Just go back to talking about like gooning or Justin Baldoni. You're clearly not intellectually equipped enough. You're
Says fucking Hassan Piker, who got
fan base hates it. You're
so
clearly all the people in your
embarrassed.
vicinity hate it, and you're still like, nah. I'm the number one guy. I'm the number one politics guy.
Ethan is also the one who doesn't know the difference between a socialist Democrat and a democratic socialist. It's crazy. It's like words have different meanings if they're in a certain succession. Ethan should never be looked at for political
you have no idea what you're talking
commentary. I liked when he made fun of the right, and that's it. Yup, Ethan trying to get political is a big part of his downfall.
This is where this is when democracy dies. These people are actively trying to make it less democratic. Anybody can talk about politics. You don't need a fucking degree. You don't need fucking anything. You can talk about politics if you want. Okay? There is no educational fucking ladder for politics. Fucking Donald Trump has made that fucking very apparent. So shut up with this elitist bullshit about how he's not smart enough to fucking engage in politics. Screw off with that. People would say the exact same thing about me, right? Like, I'm just this dumb little stoner dude. I fucking shouldn't, I should be talking about some video games or some shit. They would say the exact fucking same thing about me. And that's why I find it, like, so infuriating that these people, like, pretend to be on the libs' side. Someone like Hassan is not interested in voting for Democrats. He's only interested... He is literal grifter energy. He actively benefits when his viewers don't engage in political action. Because then he can just make a bunch of streams about how fucking horrible life is and how it all sucks.
Wow, Ethan, great move. Keep it up. Proud of you.
The term Zionist has been
All
thrown
right,
around for
you know what? We're gonna save the rest part of this for tomorrow, because I just wanted, I feel like this is a good place to well, let me see. The button. Oh, she's got a criticism for the button. Ethan's controversial takes. Okay, yeah, we'll wait. That seems like something very much worth watching tomorrow. But I did want to see if there's anything new coming out from any of our favorite creators. Speaker Johnson at the GOP saying some things, and then JD Vance debates college students in honor of Charlie Kirk. Fuck that. Yeah, let's watch
What we're going to do next is actually take some...
Let's watch him get absolutely fucking owned.
questions. And I remember one of my favorite things about Charlie, not that there aren't going to be some questioners who agree with me, but if...
By the way, if you guys enjoyed the that little segment, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, gets my name out there, helps the viewership go up. It's also free. Think about that. It's free to subscribe. That's absolutely insane. How many things are free in life? All right, we're going to watch a little bit of this, and then I'll probably head out because I got to get ready for work. But let's watch.
If you disagree with me, I would ask that you come to the front of the line, because we want to talk to people we agree with. We also want to hear from people we disagree with. It is hard for me to see because the spotlights are very bright, but whoever's in line, go ahead and ask your question. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can see you. How you doing?
Hi, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Lucy. And I'm Ellie, and we're with the Turning Point chapter for this question.
Thank you, guys.
Can you tell us how your faith helps you in your role as Vice President?
Well, I appreciate that. That is a very good question. And if this is another way in which Charlie has affected my life, I would say that I grew up, again, in a generation where even if people had very deep personal faith, they didn't talk about their faith a whole lot. And I grew up in a country where you just didn't hear political leaders talk about their faith. But the reason why I try to be the best husband I can be, the best father I can be, the reason why I care so much about all the issues that we're going to talk about is because I believe that I've been placed in this position for a brief period of time to do the most amount of good for God and for the country that I love so much. And that's the most important way that my faith influences me, is we all get a limited opportunity to make a difference. And if you believe as we believe, you believe that God, you believe that Jesus Christ has a plan. And sometimes we don't understand that plan. By the way, one way I don't understand that plan is why my friend lost his life 6 weeks ago. Sometimes I get pissed off
This
about
guy
that.
is so
What I remind
media
myself
trained.
is
It's kind of gross to watch him do it.
that there is a deeper rhythm, that Jesus Christ is the author of the fate of human history, and we are
By the way, guys, like the stream. Remember to like the stream. Sorry.
charged to do everything that we can to effectuate that vision, to make our country
Someone
a more
reminded me
virtuous
of that.
place, a more prosperous place where people can raise a family and not be persecuted for their faith, but teach their children their faith. That recognition that all of us have.
Oh yeah, Christians are being persecuted, guys. Did you hear about this? Yeah, they're just actively being persecuted, unfortunately. You guys hear about this?
Have a duty. And I have two very important duties as Vice President of the United States, to the American people and to God, and that's the most important influence my faith has on me. Thank you.
I understand your view on illegal immigration is it should be a top
I know, right? What a great speaker.
priority, strengthening our southern borders and fighting the massive drug trafficking that's taken place while securing jobs for the working class Americans. Also, deporting every single person who's invaded our country illegally, which I 100% agree on. My question to you is, what is your view on legal immigration? Personally, I have a girlfriend who's studying in America off a visa. Our hope is eventually getting a green card. So what is your view on legal immigration? Should we reduce it? Also, what is your plan for a merit-based system?
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the question. And look, my honest view is that right now, America, thanks in part to the Biden border invasion, but also thanks in part to a lot of bad immigration policy, right now, we have let in too many immigrants into the United States of America. That is just a fundamental reality. Now, look, legal immigration is complicated because we let in about 1 million legal immigrants into the United States of America every single year, and I think the evidence is pretty clear that a lot of those immigrants are actually undercutting the wages of American workers. It's one of the reasons.
Oh my goodness. What a liar.
The United States. It's one of the reasons why the President of the United States and a lot of us in the administration have encouraged H-1B reform, because if you look at the H-1B visa, what it's supposed to be is that you have a super genius who's studying at an American university, who's working at a great company. You want that super genius to stay in the United States of America and not go somewhere else. What it's actually used to do is hire an accountant at a 50% discount to an American citizen. I don't think that we should be hiring accountants from foreign countries when we've got accountants right here in the United States that would love to work for a good wage.
I think his accountant example actually is very misleading, because an accountant is much more likely to be replaced by AI than an immigrant. So it's interesting he's bringing up accounting. And something I'm very afraid of, I think the Trump administration is planning on using these AI job cuts as a way to essentially blame immigration. I guarantee that's what they're
Now,
going to do.
you asked about, I think, your girlfriend, you said, and I obviously don't know the full details about your situation, but my view is, look, there are people who want to come to the United States of America, and some of them, I'm sure, can enrich the United States of America by coming here, but we have got to get our overall numbers way, way down. Too many people have come into the United States of America. I am married to the daughter of immigrants who came to the United States in the 1980s. I do believe that many immigrants do, in fact, enrich the United States of America. But here's the problem. We don't even know how many illegal aliens we have. We don't even know. The best guess is probably 25, 30 million people. I've heard estimates as high as 50 million.
Holy fuck! 25, 30 million, 50 million? Holy shit! We shouldn't be able to go outside without seeing an illegal immigrant. Holy fuck. The numbers are like 14 million. 14 million is what I saw, which generally lines up with immigration rates. Wow, JD, you just dropped a powerful anti-meme right there. Wow.
Something like that happens, you've got to allow your own society to cohere a little bit, to build a sense of common identity, for all the newcomers to assimilate, the ones who are going to stay, to assimilate into American culture. Until you do that, you've got to be careful about any additional immigration, in my view. Thank you, sir.
Hello, I have a question about Israel and Trump's policy towards it. Do you think it's a conflict of interest for Miriam Adelson, an Israeli donor, to give millions of dollars to his campaign and then Trump have pro-Israeli policies?
Well, if you're asking, do I think the President of the United States has a conflict of interest? No, I do not, because I know how the President of the United States makes his decisions, and I see it behind the scenes. Now, as the President himself has said, Miriam Adelson, who, by the way, I know, and I have a very good relationship with her, she is very clear about the fact. She doesn't hide the fact that she really loves Israel, and that is part of what motivates her political giving. That is a reality. At the same time, the President of the United States is America first through and through. And let me give you just a couple of examples of this. Number one, we have heard from some pro-Israel voices, some people who really love the state of Israel, that they don't want us to have a relationship with certain Middle Eastern countries. Well, the President, his attitude is, we need to build relationships with any country where we have shared interests, and he's going to do it if it's in the interest of the American people.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like Qatar pays $400 million more than Israel does. So, like, we're fine with Middle Eastern. No, we're not Islamophobic or anything like
exactly
that.
Number two, there were people, and I remember this criticism of the President of the United States. I just raised it in the context of a conversation I had with Charlie. I remember when people said that the President of the United States was going to get us into a multi-100,000 troop regime change war for Israel. This was 4 months ago. This was 6 months ago. Now, the people who accuse the President of the United States of wanting to get us into a regime change war for Israel, I wonder if they stepped back and said, you know what, we were wrong about that. Because the President of the United States did not want to get us into a regime change war for any other country. He wanted to knock out a nuclear facility and get everybody back home, and that's exactly what he did. So I understand there's some frustrations out there, but I think the President of the United States, more than any president of my lifetime, is willing to stand up to anybody if he thinks it puts the interests of the American people first. Thank you.
Including the American people.
Hello, Vice President Vance.
How you doing?
Good. I have a question. Do you condone large private corporations such as Palantir hoarding data caches on U.S. citizens?
No, I don't condone it. And here's the thing. So I get asked about Palantir a lot because there's this internet meme out there that somehow I am super in bed with Palantir. And here's the thing that I'd say about this. Palantir is a private company. They sometimes do a useful service, and sometimes they're going to do things that we don't like. You should be demanding that your representatives do two things when it comes to Palantir or when it comes to any other technology company. Number one, protecting your data. What's going on with artificial intelligence is going to mean that there are massive inducements to steal your data, to harvest it, and to use it against you.
Dude, that is so funny because these people have not done... If data was such a big issue for them, they would, produce bills that block companies from accessing that data and selling it. But they're not doing that. They're just telling you, it's just like recycling. Oh, you have to do it. Well, why don't the big companies have to? Why don't the big companies have to practice these fair laws? Like, this is bullshit.
Advertisements. That is not what I believe in, and I've been fighting against it, whether it's Palantir or any other technology company, literally before I ran for office. When I ran for office, I was criticized by Republicans in my Republican Senate primary because I was talking then about Google and Facebook harvesting our data. It's unacceptable. I don't care who does it. I don't want them to do it. Number two, and this is also very important, what's going on with artificial intelligence, we got to be worried about large-scale surveillance, okay? Everything. You asked about Palantir. Do you know that every time you make a credit card transaction, the credit card companies are collecting data on how you spend your money? Do you know that every time you linger over a link on the internet for more than a half second, the search engines are collecting data on you so that they can sell you advertisements? One of the biggest questions for American policy over the next 10 years is how to ensure that you are a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, he's in bed with Palantir. Don't let his fun little meme right here trick you. He is in bed with Palantir.
Citizen if any private corporation or any government can steal something from you that belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President J.D. Vance, good evening.
Thank
My
you.
question is, the Republican Party, they stand for the right to bear arms. A lot of things the founding fathers really made a priority.
Sure.
And I feel as if requiring Christianity in public schools goes against the founding fathers' wish of freedom of religion. What do you think about that?
Well, I guess, who is saying that we require Christianity in public schools?
Just from what I've seen on the media and the news, it seems like the Trump administration had wanted to make praying in schools and Christian values incorporated.
Well, look, I think Christian values are a good thing, and I'll talk to you about why I think that's a good thing, but that's separate from forcing people to pray, which I don't think that anybody, certainly no Christian that I know, would ever support or ever endorse. And let me just say something generally about all the people. I see there's a big line, and I hope I can get to everybody's question. I remember when I was a sophomore in high school, I went to an event at my church, which was a book signing with Oliver North and Sean Hannity, the Fox News host. And this was back before, this was, I guess, 25 years ago.
Can you imagine the most boring people you could imagine? And fucking Vance was going to that. That just shows you the type of guy Vance is. God, he really doesn't have the energy, does he?
And so neither of these guys was maybe as big as they are today. And I remember standing in line, and I'm about to say hello to Oliver North and Sean Hannity, and I remember thinking to myself, I was so nervous, all I need to do is shake their hand, give them a firm handshake, and tell them my name. And that's what I'm thinking. Firm handshake, tell them my name. Firm handshake, tell them my name. And I get to the front of the line, and Sean Hannity looks at me, and he says, "How are you doing?" And I totally panic, and I go, JD. Because I had rehearsed.
Ha 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 ha. Funny.
Shaking and saying my name. My point is, I admire your guys' courage, and please don't be nervous. If you need to work through a question, think about it, speak it. We're all here to have a nice conversation, and we're all supportive of it. Here's the thing when you talk about forcing, let me answer your question, forcing Christianity, forcing people to pray. There's a liberal idea out there that I think is wrong, and that's that liberalism is the source of freedom of religion, and actually...
It is. Dude, it totally is. What are you talking about?
If you go back to the original founding documents of the United States of America, if you go back to the Anglo legal tradition, well before there was ever a United States of America, what you find is that freedom of religion is actually a Christian concept. And
no, it's not. What are you talking about? What? How is fucking... Oh my goodness. Listen to the bullshit come out of Vance's mouth. Wow.
The reason And the reason it's a Christian concept is very simple. Because Christianity, Imago Dei, the idea that we are all made in the image of our Creator, means that we must respect the free will of every single person. Now, part of that is you have
That does not mean that at all. What are you
conversation with people.
talking about?
Having free will doesn't mean that you're not allowed to encourage somebody, that you're not allowed to talk to somebody about your faith, that you're not allowed to talk about certain values in school. When our founders talked about freedom of religion, they didn't mean you weren't allowed to say a Christian prayer in a public school or that you weren't allowed to talk about Jesus Christ in a public forum. They just meant that nobody could force you to profess the Christian faith. That had to come from your own free will. And I believe that, and I think every Christian who I've ever spoken to believes.
This is such bullshit. No, the idea of freedom of religion is an extremely liberal idea. It didn't come from fucking Christianity. Dude, how is it free? How are you free to make the decision when your decision is death eternal and eternal suffering or happy place? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you got the free will, buddy. You get to choose, but yeah, like, shut up, Vance.
That the source is the Christian, the source of your faith, the Christian understanding must be your own free will. But here's the thing about Christian values. There are a lot of Christian values out there that I think that we've just sort of assumed and we've in fact taken for granted. Christian values are the idea that you should respect every single person as an individual. Whatever the color of their skin, created in the image of God, that's a Christian concept. And in fact, it was a Christian empire, Great Britain, that abolished slavery to begin with. The idea that we should eliminate child sacrifice. What did the Christian settlers find when they came to the New World? They found a lot of civilizations that were murdering babies in weird religious rituals. It was Christianity that said, we don't kill children.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It was Christianity. So when God asked for a sacrifice from, what was it, Ezekiel? And he was about to kill his fucking kid. That wasn't child sacrifice? God wasn't asking for a child sacrifice there?
Because they're somehow inconvenient to people. A lot of the things, human rights, the very idea that human beings have rights are a Christian concept. And so I'd ask you,
No, it's not, dude. No, it's not. The idea, you are subservient. That is the Christian ideal. You are a subservient individual to God. What are you talking about?
Is that you're
I don't even think Christians would agree with
of
this.
Christianity, or at least of certain public professions of Christianity. One of my favorite Bible verses is, by your fruits ye shall know them. And I think that the fruits of the Christian faith are the most moral, the most just, and the most prosperous civilization in history. I make no apology.
Hey, what's up, Savage? Good to see you. Catching a little bit towards the end of the stream. We're just watching Vance right now. Since I'm about to end the stream in probably like 20 minutes, you can watch the VOD and we go over this woman's just embarrassing video. And we stop when it gets to Palestine because I am just not ready for that. I am just, the psychic damage I'm sure I'm about to take there is gonna be fun. Excuse me, guys.
Apologies for believing that Christianity is the pathway to God. I make no apologies for thinking that Christian values are an important foundation of this country, but I'm not going to force you to believe in anything because that's not what God wants and that's not what I want either.
So,
go ahead.
The school system. Do you agree that there should be Christian implementation, or do you think that school system should be neutral and be focused on science, literature, reading, writing, arithmetic?
Well, I reject the idea that anything is purely neutral. Okay, there are for example, let's take a basic scientific fact, and this is a little spicy. I'm not trying to make this too controversial, but take the basic scientific fact of, can you take a pill to change your biological gender? Okay. Now, that's something that 15 years ago, quite literally, every single scientist in the Western world would have said, absolutely not, that's crazy, and now people will. I think the premise of your question, I don't totally share it because I don't think perfect neutrality is possible. What is it? You talk about history. Was Christopher Columbus a great explorer?
But why, are you able to disprove that you can't do that? Because, God, and these people, they mix up gender and sex so often. But gender is a social construct. Sex isn't. Sex is a biological thing. But gender itself is not like this set in stone thing, Some, for example, religious men are literally subs. Yeah, I know. I agree. They are major subs. But, I had to kill it. For example, let's look up President Shrimp real quick. Right? All right, so President Shrimp, he looks like this right now, right? Very manly, very manly. But hold on. So you would say that guy is manly, right? But what would you say? Oh, fuck, I can't find the picture now. Here, one sec, guys. I'll just bring up the picture for you. Would you say this, like, what gender would you say this guy is? Like, he's bald, you know, obviously. But he's not nearly as manly as this guy. And it's entirely constructed. This image is entirely constructed because the shrimp in the top left and the man in your middle screen are the same people. Okay? I still don't think that's him. Yeah, me neither. Allegedly, I should say. I think it's him. I think it's him. I haven't been able to find any other picture. You know, this picture doesn't come up anywhere else but in association with Nick. So it just leads me to believe that that's Nick. But, you know, gender's a very, you know, it's a made up thing. It's not made up in that sense, but it's like, you can do a lot of things with it. It's not a binary 1-2. You know, I can wear some sick-ass J's, but also a dress.
See a guy
Anyways,
who
we kind of got off
against the native
topic.
populations. These debates, I'm happy to have them, but I reject the idea that there are truly neutral debates. Anybody who's telling you their view is neutral likely has an agenda to sell you, and I'm at least honest about the fact that I think the Christian foundation of this country is a good thing. Next.
Okay, thank you. And
Vance, you are just so unlikable.
for the pill you're talking about, what do you mean specifically? Are you talking about testosterone, estrogen?
Yeah, I'm talking about hormone replacement therapy. That's what I'm talking about. Just to be respectful, let's keep it going.
Yes, thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Hello, Mr. Vice President. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to talk here today. I did not agree with many of the things that you said right ahead of this, but I don't think that's my point to discuss here. What I want to ask is, you are married to a woman who is not Christian. In her Wikipedia, I mean, I just looked it up. I don't even know what her faith was. I didn't know this before. But she still calls herself Hindu. You are raising three kids in cultural, racial, religious household. How are you maintaining or how are you teaching your kids not to keep your religion ahead of their mother's religion? Or how are you teaching them that your kind, their dad kind, who got here just few years or few decades ago, is different or is better than your mom's kind, who got here just a generation before? How are you balancing that? And when you talk about too many immigrants here, when did you guys decide that number? Why did you sell us a dream? You made us spend our youth, our wealth in this country and gave us a dream. You don't owe us anything. We have worked hard for it. Then how can you as a vice president stand there and say that we have too many of them now and we are going to take them out to people?
I feel so bad for this woman. Yeah. Yeah, dude. We sold them a fucking dream and then we took it away.
Who are here rightfully so by paying the money that you guys asked us. You gave us the path, and now how can you stop it and tell us we don't belong here anymore?
So,
and one more thing, I'm sorry, one more thing.
Sure.
Do you have to
There's
be
a lot there. I don't know if I'm going to remember all this, but I will try.
I'm sorry. I had to say all of this, and please take it with due. I mean, I'm saying all of this with due
go ahead.
respect. I have no intention of causing a scene here or anything, but
we're not close to causing a scene. Don't worry.
But we talked about Christianity, all of this. I'm not even Christian, and I'm here standing to so support. Why are we making Christianity one of the major thing that you have to have in common to be one of you guys, to show that I love America just as you do? Why is that still a question? Why do I have to be?
Amen. Speak it, sister. That's a great point, by the way, Bill. Vance had a Hindu wedding.
Christian.
Okay. So there was a lot there, and I'm going to try to respond to as much of it as I can. So on the question of immigration. So first of all, I can believe that we should have lower immigration levels, but if the United States passed a law and made a promise to somebody, the United States, of course, has to honor that promise. Nobody's talking about that. I'm talking about people who came in violation of the laws of the United States of America, and I'm talking about in the future reducing the number of people. Sorry, what?
Can I continue on that? Because when you just said you are not...
God. No, Vance, he's gotten stunlocked. No, he met his match.
Legally, right? But you are pushing out policies that hurt us, and these policies are not even solving the problems. These policies are just creating chaos.
No, ma'am. Okay, so again, I'm gonna
No,
finish answering
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Question, and then if I've answered all 9 of your questions in less than 15 minutes, then we can we gotta have a little fun, right? So here's the thing. I can believe that the United States should lower its levels of immigration in the future, while also respecting that there are people who have come here through lawful immigration pathways that have contributed to the country. But just because one person, or 10 people, or 100 people came in legally and contributed to the United States of America, does that mean that we're thereby committed to let in 1 million, or 10 million, or 100 million people a year in the future?
See, that's not the thing, though. It's either like that's not the ratio. You're making up a ratio
That's not
that
right.
doesn't
We
exist.
cannot have. I'll go and finish. We cannot have an
Much like
immigration
me.
policy where what was good for the country 50 or 60 years ago binds the country inevitably for the future. There's too many people who want to come to the United States of America, and my job as vice president is not to look out for the interests of the whole world. It's to look out for the people of the United States. Now, you asked a personal question about our interfaith household, and yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. You know, everybody has to come to their own arrangement here. The way that we've come to our arrangement is she's my best friend. We talk to each other about this stuff. So we decided to raise our kids Christian. Our two oldest kids who go to school, they go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old did his first communion about a year ago.
Interesting.
That's the way that we have come to our arrangement. But thank you. My 8-year-old was also very proud of his first communion. Thank you, guys. I'll tell him that Ole Miss wishes him the best. But I think everybody has to have this own conversation when you're in a marriage. I mean, it's true for friends of mine who are in Protestant and Catholic marriages, friends of mine who
Oh wow! Look, the difference in wow.
are in atheist and Christian marriages. You just got to talk to your.
Notice Christian is the through line throughout all of that.
The only advice I can give is you just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way.
That's so disgusting. I don't know. That's just weird.
Then God says everybody has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me. That's something you work out with your friends, with your family, with the
But you have an issue with her free will. Her free will isn't doing what you want.
person that you love. Again, one of the most important Christian principles is that you respect free will. Usha's closer to the priests who baptized me than maybe I am. They talk about this stuff. My attitude is you figure this stuff out as a family, and you trust in God to have a plan, and you try to follow it as best as you can, and that's what I try to do. I want to make a final point. So I don't want to cut you off. I want to be respectful to all the people behind you in line, but I want to make this point about immigration, okay? If you ask the question, what is the exact right number of immigrants for the United States to let in, it is just very specific on the context. If you go back to the 1920s, the United States passed an Immigration Reform Act that effectively cut down immigration to close to zero for 40 years in this country. And what happened over those 40 years? The many, many people who had come from many different foreign countries and different foreign cultures, they assimilated into American culture. And there was an expectation that they would assimilate into American culture. I think we have two problems in our immigration system today. My guess is you're probably a slightly more leftist political persuasion, liberal political persuasion, maybe not. But here's the thing. I remember back in my establishment GOP days when I was still very early getting involved in Republican politics, I remember a conservative think tank person who told me that one of the reasons why immigration was really good is that if you had enough diversity in a country, people would mistrust each other and they wouldn't join labor unions. Okay? So when I see a lot of left-wing people who theoretically support organized labor saying we need to flood the country with a limitless number of immigrants, they're unwilling to set any limitations on it. My response to that is you are destroying the very social trust on which American freedom and prosperity was built. And that is really important to me. So the honest answer to your question, what is the exact number of immigrants?
I think I'm going to fucking end the stream there. I got to get ready for work and stuff. But guys, if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more like this, if you enjoyed the live, please consider subscribing. I'm live Monday. I'm honestly live basically every day. So yeah, you guys will always have me. So I'm live every day. It's going to be from the schedule right now is from 8 p.m. to 11. However, that may very well change. But yeah, I highly recommend you guys go check out. I checked if Loner America was founded on racism. Oh yeah, I know. He's a piece of shit, dude. And it's so annoying. I don't know how he fell down this. It's the corruption of power. But anyways, I gotta get going. But go raid IRI. He's live right now. I checked if Loner was live, but he's not live right now. So guys, go check out IRI. I'm a huge fan of his. He is one of the people that inspired me to start streaming. So yeah, well, thank you, Bill. Thank you for the good luck at work. I apologize for getting a little silly during her video. I called Trisha some mean words, and I do feel very badly about that. So Trisha, if you ever see this, I apologize. But with that being said, let's play some MAGA music. Let's peace out of here in style, folks. What are we feeling? Forgiato? I mean, I always do Forgiato, right? Let's do somebody else. JJ Lawhorn. That one's a fucking loser. All right, guys, this is Put a Good One Down, the Houndsman. I've never heard this, so we're going to hear it for the first time. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.